everybody, and welcome to FlavaHouse Network's The Love Rhythm Recipe. I'm Casey, and tonight, it's so exciting for you foodies. We have some delicious, crispy butter or honey butter chicken, and it's going to be a little spicy. You're going to love it. If you watch that short, you see what I mean. And our topic for tonight is: could you wait for love or not? That's the question. And we are going to be exploring 3 great songs that I really love, and I'm sure that a lot of you do. The first one is Let's Wait a While by Janet Jackson, one of my faves. The second one is Someone to Love You by Ruff. And the third one, well, you know, Luther is my heart, Wait for Love. So we're going to be exploring these 3 songs and seeing all the circumferences of what really is going on with the meanings and how it relates to our relationships. But the first thing I'm going to do is, I told you guys about the mystery cocktail moment. Well, let me pull this up. This is going to pair deliciously with our crispy honey butter chicken. Oh, baby. Bam! Look at that. How beautiful is that? I'm going to taste it, but first I need to find out just what this is. Mixologist, hit me. What's this all about?
So that right there you have is called the Citrus Bliss. It is a combination of orange juice, lemon juice, and a bit of sparkling lime seltzer water. And it, I believe, will pair perfectly with the meal for tonight.
Oh, yes. This is delicious. But there's more. If you hang out until the end, I have a secret side that's going to go fantastic with this. But you got to stick around. Otherwise, hey, you might as well be ready. You might as well be ready to do that replay. In any case, I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you the chicken. I'm not going to bore you with taking you through all of these ingredients, but I will tell you what the ingredients are as we are preparing the food. How about that? So the first thing we have are some beautiful chicken legs. And yeah, they're pretty nice. Kind of heavy too. Let me show y'all. So I have about, what do you think, about 4 pounds of this? So we have about 4 pounds of these beautiful chicken legs here.
And I think it's about 12 of them.
Okay, it's about 12 of these. Now, you can use the chicken legs, you can use thighs, you can use any piece of the chicken you want. I'm choosing this because, hey, I kind of like the dark meat, and this chicken legs are very meaty. So I'm not going to touch, but I will get my gloves. And I'm going to put on the real glasses, so guess what? I can see. Yes. So let me take these off. These are the glasses that match, you know, the ones I just had on. These right here, I got to see. Okay, so now that the world is revealed to me through these glasses, we're going to carry on. So let me get this in here, over there, and we're going to start getting our chicken together, and we're going to be talking about our very first song, which is Let's Wait a While. So if any of you guys are familiar with this song, actually, okay, which came from, I think it was Poetic Justice, right? From the movie Poetic Justice that Janet Jackson played in with Tupac. So that was a good movie too, and I really liked it. I watched it a lot. I don't know about any of you out there, but I was feeling it. Hey, my sister, hey, are you? I wondered where you were. I was thinking about you earlier, and of course, you know how life be lifing all the time. But my sister's here in the chat, and welcome to everybody else who's out there and coming on in. I am doing a crispy butter honey chicken. We have a delicious mocktail that I forgot the name of already. It's a the Citrus Bliss that goes along with here. And I'm going to have a secret side or 2 if you hang out to go with this. We're talking about Janet Jackson's Let's Wait a While. So first of all, I'm going to get my chicken, and I just lost you. Yes, I did. Okay, so we're back. I touched the mouse. So what I'm going to do is get rid of the mouse so I don't have to touch it. How about that? Get it over here. Take you way over here so you don't touch anything. And what I have now is, now Beautiful Assistant put some flour in the bag. I'm probably going to have to put a little bit more because these chicken pieces are pretty big. So I start off with the flour in the bag to the side because this is going to be seasoned. So we're going to get some more flour here. But what I want to do for the chicken is I will probably lay this chicken out because I want the chicken to get fully coated. So let me just get this stuff out of the way. Just like that. And normally when I do my seasonings, if you've ever seen this before, I put everything in a bag. But I don't want my skin on my chicken to be disturbed. So that's why I'm going to lay it out. Because it's all about the aesthetics. What can I tell y'all? So let me get this over here. Get a nice piece of foil. Get my gloves, of course, because I don't want to spread any salmonella. No, I don't. And I'm going to get this covered really well. That way I don't make too much of a mess, which is why I usually use the freezer bag. But sometimes you got to go there. What can I tell you? Let me get this over here. So what I'm doing, if you're just coming in, I'm about to season my chicken leg. And like I said, you can do this with any part of the chicken if you want. It's up to you. So let me get that in here. And I'm going to kind of make some little corners so I don't make too much of a mess. You know, y'all know I'm going to make a mess. Y'all know this, right? You already know this. So getting back to Janet Jackson's song, I think it's the most beautiful thing. I think it's the video kind of depicts, you know, her in a relationship and not rushing into intimacy or being that close that fast, getting to know each other and stuff like that. So that's one aspect of it, for real. And the question is, would you wait? Would you wait to have that connection, or would you act on impulse? And that's my question to like you guys over here in my audience, and for you guys out there, if anybody chooses to say anything. Hey there, Benjamin, how are you? I hope you had a good week. I really did. I really did. I am going to get these gloves and put them on my hands. So that's pretty much it. So, okay, I'm gonna tell you like this. You have all kinds of opinions on how fast or slow you should go in a relationship. And I am going to reserve mine for last. And not so much an opinion, but an observation. I will tell you, it can be a lot of things because if you saw the movie, she had someone that she was really, really in love with, and the person was unalived. So she's still suffering from the grief. And then she comes along and she meets Tupac Shakur, who is a mailman. Now, her previous person that she loved was in a life that was not safe. Okay. And I guess she doesn't want to repeat the process. So she's kind of like, she's closed off. And she's wanting to wait because rushing in can really take away the protection of her heart. So I will say this. A lot of times we work on impulse and we don't think before we leave. Not saying that the relationship will not work. Not saying that it's not valid, but saying that you have to get to learn the person. Okay, because I'm going to tell you, lust is a whole different dynamic. You have a whole lot of that and have nothing in common. So what are you going to have to sustain the relationship? I go by the motto of this, and I'm just laying the chicken down on here. If it is worth having, if it is going to be valid, it's worth waiting for. Because anybody that truly, truly wants to be with you will be willing to wait. For whenever you are ready emotionally or whatever the case may be. I ain't telling you to wait forever, okay? But some people have you waiting just because they're afraid of commitment. But, a respectable amount of time, it's nothing wrong with that. Anyone that wants to pressure you into doing something that you wouldn't be outside of your character, whether you want to rush in and take that leap or whether you want to wait, that person is not really for you because that person is thinking more about themselves and they're thinking about the welfare of the other person. So I think that whatever these decisions have to be, they need to be mutual decisions. They need to be something that is well thought out. I don't think that it has to be something that is rushed or hurried or anything of that nature if both parties are not on board. And don't do something because you think that's going to run somebody away. Because if they're going to run away, they're going to run anyway. Yeah, and maybe they need to run. Exactly. So I'm just saying, I'm all for everybody and everything making decisions that long term is going to benefit them. You can't think about the short term. We have to learn how to think beyond our moments, because a lot of time knee-jerk reactions are things that jerk your knee. That's what, yeah, hence the name. That's what they call it. So I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think? Do you think that it's, I'm not going to say safe, but it's practical to be impulsive? How about that? Do you think okay, so Beautiful Assistant says no. I don't know about anybody else out here, okay? Anybody out there in the family looking out here? Anybody in the chat? Okay, I voiced my opinion, and like I said, we all may have been impulsive at some point, okay?
I've never seen a situation where impulsivity yields good results. In my opinion, I personally haven't seen that happen. Because usually when you rush in, you're missing key details of something, and it ends up biting you later.
Yeah, I can say that. That's for sure. You got to really look before you leap. And sometimes it works out. So you have to say to yourself, how willing are you to take that risk? Mm-hmm. If you are a risk taker, then yeah, you just kind of go with the wind. But if you're not, then hey, you kind of think about it and you reflect and you pump those brakes. So that's pretty much that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to season up my chicken, and I'm going to take a few things to do that. So first of all, y'all know I'm going to hit it up with my KC Blessing. Yes, I am. This right here is my Make It Rain bottle. And so I'm going to make it rain on here first. And so Casey's Blessing has no sugar, no salt. This is all spices. This is something that enhances the flavor of your food. It doesn't cover it. And it's just pretty darn good. But until you can get some, use whatever all-purpose seasoning that you normally use. If you are salt, sodium, or sugar sensitive, you want to read your labels. That's what you want to do. And then when I release the dragon, you better buy some. That's all I can tell you. So for this, because I don't have a sodium in here, I can just kind of make it rain. And so I just want to make sure that every piece is covered, because it's important that your chicken is seasoned inside and out. Not just your crust, okay? Because, hey, if the crust disappears, then you got what? Bland chicken. And so you're not trying to have that. I think that everything should be layered. Everything should be seasoned. That's just me. Okay, so I'm putting quite a bit out here. Okay, I'm just telling, I ain't even lying. Okay, probably about 3 tablespoons. 2 on, maybe 4. 2 on each side. Okay, so I got that on here on one side. And everything I do on one side is going to be done on the other. When I finish seasoning this, I will show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so now I got the Casey's Blessing. I have a little bit of onion powder, and everything's going to be a half a teaspoonful with the other ingredients. So half a teaspoonful of the onion powder that I'm just sprinkling on top of here. And you're like, okay, yeah, it sounds like a lot of seasoning. Honey, it's never too much, never too much. Woke up today, looked at your picture just to get me started. Oh, we that's another show. But anyway, yeah. So now I have some powdered rosemary. Well, it wasn't always powdered. Beautiful Assistant powdered it for me. And you too can get something to grind yours up. I mean, really inexpensive. We have a NutriBullet, but you can get a coffee grinder, anything to kind of grind up and make it powder, or you can buy it this way, which I'm sure is much more expensive. And I ain't trying to do that. So we grind ours. Okay, and so we're going to put a little bit of rosemary, because rosemary really heightens the flavor of poultry or pretty much anything I've tasted it on. I don't know if I've never put it on fish, but I'm gonna try it. I think I'm gonna try it next time I make some salmon. Anywho, so then I got this really, really expensive garlic powder because they didn't have my bargain brand. So I had to get this stuff here. So I'm gonna be like, I really don't want to put a half a teaspoonful on here because this costs a lot of money. But I'm gonna put this on here anyway. Okay, so I put that on here, the garlic powder, and then I'm going to put. What am I going to do next? I need my pepper. I'm going to take some pepper and let me get my onion powder over here because everything that I did, I got to do on the second side. So I'm going to take a pepper, but I'm not going to do a half a teaspoonful of pepper. Probably a quarter teaspoonful because I will be using a little bit of cayenne and I don't want it too hot. I want it just to have a little kick, but not a lot. And also, if you want to, you can use some white pepper on here. White pepper is not as strong as far as kind of, heat or whatever. So you might want to do that if you have that available. Okay. I am going to take a little bit of cayenne and I'm just going to hit it, probably about a quarter teaspoonful for all of this chicken. And I'm just going to hit it just a little, just lightly, just like that, just a little bit. And you will see when I do it. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And I am going to turn it over and do the same thing to everything else. So I'm going to flip it just like that to the other side. And these chicken legs were dried off. They have a little bit of condensation because they're pretty juicy, but that's good because that's helping my seasoning stick. So that's a good thing. So now I'm going to take my Casey's blessing, but first I'm going to wipe this glove off because I don't want to touch my seasoning with the glove that has the seasoning on it. Okay, so let me get this dirty thing off of here and let me start again. So we're gonna season it on this side, on the opposite side with everything we did before. And if you're just stepping in, we are seasoning our chicken. We're using an all-purpose seasoning for you guys. I have my own house blend, signature blend, Casey's Blessing, which I'm trying to get together, okay, to sell to you guys because you're going to love it. It has no salt and it is sugar-free and it's all flavor and you can just make it rain like I do. See, just like that. But we're covering our chicken with this. And the reason why we're doing this is because we want to have flavor for everybody. So that's important. That was the Casey's Blessing or your all-purpose seasoning. This is our onion powder. Everything is going to be a half teaspoonful with the exception of the pepper, which will be a quarter teaspoonful, and the cayenne pepper, which is going to be a dash because I don't want it to be too hot. Okay, so now I'm going with my garlic powder. Make sure I got the right end open. And I'm sprinkling that on there. And when you see this, you're going to be like, geez, it's a lot of seasoning, but it really isn't. Because you got to realize the stuff is going to absorb as it cooks. And it's going to go into the delicious meat. Chicken, fowl, poultry. Okay. I have some ground rosemary here. I'm going to put that on here. And the topic tonight is, could you wait for love or not? And so we're exploring 3 songs. We're looking at Let's Wait a While by Janet Jackson, which, like I said, is a fave of mine. And we're going to be talking about Ruff, Endz, Someone to Love You. And then finally, Luther Vandross, Wait for Love. And those dynamics that come along with it, what the song is representing, and the things that we can find in the songs that may be circumference as far as relationships are concerned. Because relationships are dynamic entities, okay? Whether we want to face it or not, it really is. It ain't simple, okay? And everybody got something to contribute, and everybody has something a little bit different. And so Pam says, for Casey's Blessing, she seasoned her chicken legs today. Oh, the flavor was truly enhanced, and she ate all her food. That is a lot because she rather eat cereal okay, than to eat food. So if Casey's blessing has her eating, hey,
That's a win.
I don't know what you say. I'm going to put this pepper on here because we are always after her about, you know, in her mind, she wants to cook it all, you know, and then when you get home, after running around and stuff, you're like, not so much. Cereal. So,
I'll do it next time.
exactly. You know, so that's the thing. Okay, and I'm gonna put this little sprinkle of cayenne pepper on here. Just a touch of cayenne, a little bit. Y'all like, okay, what is she talking about? Okay, I know. You gotta, if you know, you know. Okay, that's all I can tell you. If you know, you know.
You need to learn.
Exactly. So that's that. All right, so I got that, and what I didn't do is I didn't show you the salt because of beautiful assistant salt fetish. However, we will address this when we season our flour. But for now, what we are doing is I want to show you guys, and then I'm going to just roll it. Any parts that's not covered. But for the most part, any excess seasoning that you have on your foil, or however you want to season it, it's almost like a coating, okay? And it's very important. So you see this? That is what you want your chicken to look like. Take a picture, okay? That is what you want it to look like. So right now I'm rolling it in any excess seasoning to make sure that that's on every single piece. And then what I'm going to do after I do that, I'm going to set it to the side. So I'm going to season up my flour because now I'm deciding whether I'm going to pan fry or whether I'm going to put it kind of deep fry it a little. I'm not quite sure which one I want to do. So I'm making this decision here in front of you. Yes, I am. Okay. But either way, it's going to get cooked. Okay. So let me make sure that all my seasonings are on here. It's like they're supposed to be. Yes, sirree. And let me get this all over here. There's one little piece that just doesn't want to cooperate. And it said, I'm gonna make you cough today. Do that day. And I'm feeling a cough coming on. All of the seasoning. Excuse me. So yeah, let me make sure I get it on the very bottom and the very top. So I'm gonna take these gloves off and get myself a paper plate and put this on here. Okay, I'm gonna get these gloves off. All right, I'm still coughing, y'all. So anyway, let me get a paper plate and get this on here. Or maybe what I'll do is, hey, let's save a tree for my sister. Okay, and I won't get the paper plate. I will be strong. I'll be invincible. I'll be woman, and I will take this and lift this and bring this over and pray that we don't have chicken on the floor. That's what we're gonna do. So let me bring this over. I think I'm pretty secure. Look at me. Okay, bring that over just like that and keep it. So now I'm going to tidy up over here and move this because I think I'm going to need a little bit more flour, beautiful assistant. I know I'm going to need some more. Okay, so let me get this and then I'll decide I'm going to season my flour. So basically, like I said, that's what I'm thinking about Janet's song and the dynamics behind it. I think that
was that the song from the movie?
That's the song from the movie Poetic Justice. Let's wait a while before it's too late. Let's wait a while before we go too far. Something like that, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I like the song. And I think for her, it's about fear, you know, of her heart being broken again. Really.
And you know what? All honesty, it's crazy. The person too, if they're rebounding, getting with you, they're not giving you their full love anyway. Yeah, correct. So, I mean, that was pretty cut dry for me. Yeah. Okay, so let me get the other flour. Beautiful sister knows I do not like dealing with flour. Yeah. So I'm going to open this up. Okay. Yeah. Because I always make a mess every single time I do this. I'm telling you, I am not playing.
I like fried foods, but I don't fry them a lot because I don't like the mess. To be totally honest. So I'm going to put some more. So right now we have about 2 cups, and now I'm going to make it 3 because I want to make sure. And I'm just going to put all the rest of it in here. So 3.5 cups for all of that chicken. Now, of course, you won't have to do that because you may not have as much chicken. But let me get this in the garbage. Bring that over. Just like that. Okay, and let me clean this up. Because as usual, like I said, I got flour in the attic. I got flowers in the attic. I got flowers in the attic. And again, if you know, you know. So, I see 3 wonderful people peeking in. Are you peeking? Hey, like. So, I have this flour. So, now you don't ever fry something without seasoning your flour. Or you will have what? Some bland fried food. So, I'm going to take this. And the first thing you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit it with the Casey's. And I'm going to let it rain. Probably about 2 tablespoons for all of this. You don't have to go as hard because you may not have as much flour. But it's important to season your flour. What I'm also going to do is a little bit of baking powder. Now, the baking powder will help with the crispness. So I'm going to put just a teeny tiny bit of it in here because this is this self-rising or no? This is self-rising, so it already has a little bit in it. So I'm just going to put a little bit more. So like 1/8 teaspoonful and about 1/4 teaspoonful.
So because you're frying it, does it make a difference?
What do you mean?
Self-rising versus not?
Well, no, it really doesn't. I just like self-rising flour because I use flour for other things.
Right.
But just for frying, no, it doesn't really change the texture or anything. It probably will be a little bit more crispy because it does have the baking powder in it, and then I just add a little bit more. So far we did the Casey's Blessing. I did a 1/4 teaspoon of some baking powder. And you want to make sure your baking powder does not have aluminum in it because it'll taste like metal.
Auntie Pam said, I didn't run the street today. I was on a mission to cook a decent meal. Yay!
Good girl. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you. Yes, I am. So I'm going to hit it with a little bit of rosemary, about a 1/4 teaspoonful of that. I'm going to hit it with some garlic powder. Just like that. Okay. And I'm going to hit it with a little bit of onion. Pretty much everything I did with the chicken itself. Okay. A little bit of onion powder. And I'm going to take it, with the exception of the cayenne pepper, because I don't want it, like I said, to be overly heated. I'm going to do a little bit of black pepper in here. Just like that. And I'm going to move this over, just like that. And I'm going to be looking at my smoked paprika. Now, you can use any kind of paprika you want. I just happen to have this. And this is going to help with the color. So you don't want to put too much on there. And then your chicken is not done on the inside and it's overly brown on the outside. But you want it to be enough so it can help brown and make it beautiful. And taste good too because this has a nice flavor to it. Also, what I'm going to do is I have a packet because I see Beautiful Assistant put it over here. I do like to use Sazon sometimes. And this is no salt, no MSG. And I'm going to put a half a packet of the Sazon in this flour. And it's really going to kick it up a notch. Okay, let me get this out if I can open it. Okay, so we're going to do a half a pack of that. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to put a little bit of paprika in there. So instead of putting the ground cayenne pepper, I'm putting some Sazon in there instead. Let me get that moved over. Okay, and let me get my paprika in here. And let's see. So with the paprika, I will probably put a half a teaspoonful of paprika in here. And now I'm going to shake this up. But I'm going to make sure that this is stable. The last time I shaked up one of these bargain bags, It wasn't pretty. Okay. So, and this is live. Okay, live. You can't edit this out. So this is what I'm doing, guys. I'm just making sure that all the seasonings are incorporated, just like that. And if I see that it's still a little bit too white, then I'll put a little bit more of paprika in there. But I won't put any more seasonings because I think it has enough of the seasoning in here for this amount of flour. So it's still a little white. I'm going to do a little bit more paprika. And I'm also going to do just a dash of salt. Okay, and I mean a dash, just like that. There you go. Okay, a little bit more paprika. I'm so strong till I broke the top of the... Oh, my goodness. That's a shame. See, that's what happens when you do the vitamins. Okay, it makes you strong. I just flipped it, and it just went flying all across the room. Okay. Well, not across the room, but right here, down here in front of me. Okay, so just make sure. Now, my decision. Am I going to pan fry or am I going to pop it in my pot and deep fry? Because they're pretty thick. So, I'm still thinking. I'm thinking. All right, so let me get over here. I got plenty of oil, that's for darn sure. Okay, let me get this over here. And I'm thinking, I really like my cast iron skillet, but I'm thinking it'll take me forever. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking, let's see. First of all, okay, that'll hit there. This will be here. All right. And let me just put this over here. Out the way. We'll stick that over here. All right. So I'm leaning towards the cast iron, y'all. I'm really leaning towards it. I have to put quite a bit of oil in here for this. Because this chicken is pretty big. So I'm thinking I'm doing cast iron. I'm gonna go old school. I'm doing cast iron. I got to. Let me move this out the way. But I'm looking at these are steroidal chicken legs. Okay, that's what they are. So we're gonna bring this over. Just like that. And I'm gonna do the old school way. And let me spray my pan. Because I always do. Spray that. And what I'm also going to do, bear with me a moment, y'all, because I need to move you guys back a little. Okay, just a touch, just a little, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to move a little closer to you. Oh, yeah. Ain't that a lovely sound? I ain't feeling all that. Okay, now I feel I can breathe. Because I was just way too tight up over here. Okay, so let's bring this over here. And I'm going to start to heat my skillet. And I'm going to heat it. I'm going to do real low and start heating it. Because I want to have time to put some of the chicken in and get it over here so it can go in. But I'm going to take this big canola oil. And you can use whatever kind of oil is good for you. This is what I'm using. They have it on sale. I need a lot of it. But you can use whatever oil that allows you to have a high heat when you are frying. So, yeah, let me put that in and do it the right way. So I'm going to do this maybe halfway because when I put this chicken in, I don't want it to overflow. Okay, so I may have to add more oil later, but right now I'm doing about halfway. And I'm going to heat it up. Okay, let's bring this over here. And that'll be that. So let me get my little drinky poo. My little drinky poo while this heats up. And I'm going to get some of the chicken. I think let me get a paper plate. So when I put the chicken in the flour, then I can have it sitting out and, kind of airing. So that's what I'll do. Once again, I need some gloves. So let's just get another pair. Okay, but first I'm going to take a sip. And I'm going to move on to the next beautiful song, which I'm trying to think what movie. Was it attached to a movie? I think it was attached to a movie. I can't remember what movie it was. Someone to Love You by Ruff, Endz. But it's just a beautiful song. Once again, someone closed off. Once again, someone who's had many relationships that didn't work. That she probably was the person that did most of the loving and they did most of the taking. So now she's in a situation where, hey, I'm done. This is my opinion. I think she's in a situation where she says she's done and she ain't trying to look no more. And that's it for her. However, deep in her heart, she still longs for that perfect love or a love that someone who loves her. That is good. But I'm going to stop drinking, y'all, because y'all know what's going to happen. So, in this instant, you talk about what happens.
Come down to earth with Chris Rock.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, the song was in Down to Earth.
Oh, okay. The song, A Beautiful Sister says it was in a movie called Down to Earth by Chris Rock. So I have to go watch that movie when I finish with y'all. How about that? Because I just know the video and I loved it. So I'm going to put some of this chicken in here and put it over here. All right. So, but anyway, going off the video is that, okay? But I will tell you this. We are built as human beings to be paired. That's just the way it is. Whether we like it or not. Because if we wasn't built to be paired, the world will come to an end. And that's my opinion, okay? We are built to be paired in the animal kingdom. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's forever. Because some animals, it's just for the reason of population. Okay. However, we are. And so, because we are built that way, and the more evolved we are as animals, Homo sapiens, okay, those emotions run deep, whether we like them or not. So, a lot of times when we get hurt, we try to negate those emotions and put them to the side and act like they don't exist. But just like I was saying before, you have to harness your hurt and you have to navigate through it and you have to make it work in your favor. Because just like grief, hurt may not go away, but that doesn't mean that you need to let it immobilize you. So in this case, in my opinion, this person has allowed the hurt to immobilize them to the point where they feel like they don't need anything or anybody. They come across a person that has been admiring them, who really has fallen deeply in love with them and really sees them. Okay, and that's important when you have somebody who sees you. Because when someone sees you, they see you beyond the hurt. They see you beyond the pain. They see you behind the depression. They see you behind, like those days when you think that you don't look good. But they see you. And they think that you're everything. And I just put the chicken legs in here, y'all. And I am kind of shaking them around so I can cover them. Okay. And this is not, like I said, a lot of times you can, people will soak their chicken and batter. I don't like a whole lot of batter. I like crisp. I like coating, but I like the taste of meat, me personally. And thank you so much for 3 likes and 3 people. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. If this is resonating with you, hey, stick around, come around, and subscribe, because that will let you know what's going on here. Because, child, there's always something going on up here in the Love Rhythm Recipe or the FlavaHouse. And the FlavaHouse, because the Love Rhythm Recipe is in the FlavaHouse. However, so I am coating this really, really well. I'm over there heating up this oil slowly because I don't want to let it get too hot before I can get this covered. And then hopefully, if all goes well, we're going to put this on a plate and it's going to start airing out and drying a little. so it can be ready for the heat. So, and I'm going to try not to make a flowery mess in front of you all. So y'all know that ain't happening. So it's like, hey, but you see how nice and coated that is? That's how you want it to be. Don't crowd it. If you put it on a plate, it's even nicer when you put it on a rack and let it dry for about 5 minutes. But I thought about it. Shoot, my mom and them ain't had no rack. You know what they used to do? They used to fry chicken, I'll never forget. And they had brown bags. And they would put the chicken in the brown bag and shake it up with the flour and the seasoning or whatever. And then when they wanted to drain the chicken, not the same bag, but they would have a different brown bag and they would rip it open and put it on a plate or something, some kind of support, and they would drain the chicken. Now, you're like, oh, goodness, but honey, I don't know what them brown bags did, but that was some good chicken. I'm not going to make you eat a brown bag. No, I'm not. Okay, but I'm just saying, I can put it on here, and it should be okay, and I don't have to do that fancy rack stuff. Okay, they just came up with that mess, because we ain't had no racks back then. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put 4 on here. I got a couple more in here, and I'll take them out as I put this in. But I don't want to crowd my plate and then cause my flour to come off. That I don't want to do. Okay, so let me get this over here. Let me clean up this flour and my hand. Look at this. Did you see this? Okay, so yeah. Let me get that over here. Just like that. And I'm going to put the chicken over here, and I'm going to turn my heat up so it can get hot enough so I can get some of the chicken in here. Okay, so I'm taking my heat up. I guess because my finger is full of stuff. Okay, so I'm taking it up to a high so it can start heating. And I'm going to take these gloves off. And I hate to do this because I got to put my hands back in there. But I really need to take them off so I can maneuver with the chicken over here. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so let me get that in. We're going to let that heat up. Bring this chicken over here. That's how we're going to do that. And it shouldn't take that long to heat up because I got it on high, so that's good. Also, I promised you guys a secret side, and so we will be doing a secret side. But you're going to have to hang out in order to see the secret side, or you're going to have to come back and watch the replay. The choice is yours. I say hang out. That's what I say. What do you say? Hey, over there, my family in the chat. What do you say? They should hang out. That's what I say. Yeah. So I'm going to put this over here. And I'm going to take my lemon off of this. And I'm going to drink some more. And I'm going to wait for this to heat up. But I'm going to continue to talk about this, someone to love you. So how important do you think it is to find that someone to love you? Should you be on a searching mission? Should you let it be organic? What do you guys think? I'll give you a moment.
That's hard. That's hard because you have to be intentional. You have to be, it depends on the season you're in your life. If it happens to come organic, awesome. But there are a lot of situations where, like, just giving myself an example, I'm a homebody. So you have to intentionally go and talk to people and go to places to meet people. You know what I'm saying? So although the situation can happen organically once you meet, the intention to go find, to have a partner is there. And that's why you're in the situation in the first place. So I feel like it's kind of a combination.
Okay, so I'll say this. It depends on what your particular situation or dynamic is.
Right.
Yes, if you are seeking a relationship and you know who you are and you know what you want, yes, you're going to be intentional about the places that you seek and the people that you meet. If you were just kind of coasting along and you're like, hey, I ain't trying to deal with this, and something comes along, okay, or someone comes along that is just kind of organic, and you're closed off. A lot of times you miss those signals, but then you have that person that really, really, really is into you, and they get it. They understand that you've had pain. They understand that you've been hurt. And so they approach you in a different way and they come to you being real. Sometimes you have to, and I keep saying that relationships and love, there's no guarantee. Think of it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do have it on high.
Careful.
Yeah, I know that. I'm waiting. Okay.
Sorry.
So let me put this over here. It's just like being in Atlantic City or in a casino. You go to the casino with the hopes that you'll win, but you don't really know. You take the risk and you may lose, but you could be a winner. It's the same thing with a relationship. I'm going to turn this down just a tad to 9, and then I'm going to check to see, do my normal check, which, like I said, the safety way to do my check is to cover it with a screen. Otherwise, don't do it. Okay? And I'm smelling, and also, see, I can smell the oil.
Right.
Okay, so just like, because it needs to be hot enough. It needs to be angry. I'm going to take it down to 8. I need it to be consistently angry. If it's not consistently angry, it's going to be not hot enough to put this in. And then you're going to end up with it kind of steaming through. So I don't want that. And you don't want to crowd your pan. That's very important. Do not, I repeat, do not crowd your pan. So, you see? I think it could be a little angrier. So I'm going to take it to a 9. That's almost back up to the high. I don't want it to smoke. I'm going to keep doing that until I hear it not die down. If you hear it die down, I'm a little mad. But it's not, I'm mad, the big payback. It ain't that. Okay, so, yeah. So, anyhow. Now it's ready. So, I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to be very careful because I'm hunting rabbits. And I'm going to take this meat, this chicken, and I'm going to put it in. Just like that. And I'm going to take it down just a notch, not too much. I'm going to put one here. I'm going to leave these really, really away from each other. I don't want to put them, and let me watch my sleeve. Just like that. Let me get it moved over because I don't want them touching. I want them to have their own little spot to stand. And I'm going to turn it down just a bit. Okay, stick that in there. Okay, so that's great. Let me cover this because I just want it to brown. So I'm going to take it down to a 6. Let me turn this on. Okay, I don't want it to over brown. I got to be careful because, like I said, I got this paprika on here and all those other seasonings that have darkness to them. And what will happen is this will over brown. So I got to watch this. Okay, take it. The heat is going down some. See, these are some thick legs here. Okay, take something like that. And let me get something to wipe this up with. A little bit of flour. Yes. Let me get that cleaned up. Just like that. And I think I'm going to move over here so I can really kind of look at it. I'm going to get some more chicken inside the bag. So I can have the next batch. I think I have 1 left in here, so I'll put 3 more. I'm just going to have to do batches because these are big. Okay, put 3 more of these in here. Wash my hands. Let me close this up. Just like that. Okay, so that leaves me with 3. So perfectly, 3 more to go. Move this over, clean this up. Okay, get that in here. Wash my hands off so I can shake up my chicken. Just like that. I'm gonna go back over and check this chicken too because it's cooked. Like I said, that first batch you have to watch with anything. Anytime you're frying stuff, the first batch is always gonna be. I call it the experimental batch. That's the batch that you don't show the guests. That's the batch that you eat yourself. Just in case it doesn't look right. Okay, so let me wipe that off. And let's see what we got going on here. I want to just, I'm talking about my big gargantuan fork so I can check it out. Let me stick this over here and kind of turn it and see what it's looking like. So just because it's browning doesn't mean it's ready. Okay, so this is browning, pretty brown. Okay, because it has all the seasoning. So I want you to remember that has all that seasoning on it. So the seasoning is going to brown it. But that doesn't mean it's ready. Now, beautiful assistant is good with the internal temperatures of food. So the internal temperature of this needs to be what, beautiful assistant?
100 and
I couldn't hear. She said 165. So, yeah. And that's what we want to happen. And we're going to let that happen. Let it happen, Captain. So what we do is brown it on one side. We brown it on the other. And then when I pan fry, when I have stuff this thick like this and it has a ball, I brown it on one side, I brown it on the other, and then I put a top on it so it can kind of cook through. And that's just my method. That's not everybody's method, but that has worked for me. And it makes sure that my chicken is cooked all the way down to the bone, because the worst thing you ever want to have when you bite into a piece of chicken, some blood comes out, or you bite into it and it's blood on the bone. For me. Okay, so I'm just letting it know. This is how Casey rolls. All right. So got that all cleaned up. Let me get this over here. Get that residue off of the fork and off my counter. So I'm gonna go get the chicken over here and shake it up. Let me get this back on. And we're gonna let that side brown, and then we're going to cover it and turn up the heat some. Okay, so I got the rest of this chicken here. I got 4 pieces in here. One that was left from the first one, and then these other ones that I'm kind of just shaking up and having ready. And then I'll put it on here. Let me get some of this flour off this plate. Okay, just like that. All right, so let me get this over here. So he can be waiting. We're going to take a look at this and see what's going on. Again, like I said, I don't want to over brown it. And it don't take much, I'm here to tell you. Okay. Remember hot spots. Some areas have hot spots. It's going to cook faster in some areas of your skillet. Mine tends to have a hot spot towards this area. And it'll cook faster. Good evening, Grill Master. Yeah, I know you. I tell you, this is how I wake him up. He smells the food. That's what that's about. Okay, so let me cover this. I'm thinking I'm gonna take it up just a little notch. Let's see, take it up to 7, because like I said, I don't want to over brown this, because I do have all those dark seasonings in. And if you're just coming in, I have my chicken. I decided to pan fry it. It's nicely seasoned. I seasoned my flour with the same ingredients that I seasoned my chicken. And I have some inside the freezer bag there waiting to go in. Right now, I've browned on one side. I'm browning on the other. I have it on a medium-high heat to keep the oil from getting too settled and from the temperature going down. Because when you're frying, you want a high temperature, but you have to be masterful as to how you manipulate it. So I'm sitting here in this chair, waiting for you. Oh, baby, the fried things might listen. Okay, so let me see what I got going on this other side, y'all. Because once I cover this, it's gonna soften my crust. But not to worry, because we ain't done yet. We gotta make sure that the top of these chicken legs are fully cooked. Because right now, it can fool you. It looks like it's done, but it ain't. So let me just flip that over. Let me get you over here where you belong. Get y'all back together again. Okay, flip it over. So now you're gonna flip it on the second side. Be mindful. And like I said, you can look at your bones. Like there's a little piece of bone in the top and a little piece of bone. If it has blood coming out of it, honey, you know, don't eat that. Don't even think about it. Wipe it out your memory. Okay, so now I'm going to put my top on here and I'm going to steam it. Okay, so I'm putting this in here just like this. I'm going to take this up to an 8 because when you cover it and start steaming it, it takes the heat down. It makes the heat get a little bit less. And we want to keep that same dynamic going, although we are steaming the chicken through. Okay, so you know I'm wiping up the mess because y'all know me. And I'm gonna put this over here. But like I said, with the "Someone to Love You" song, and this is what we were discussing because we went past "Let's Wait a While," so you'll have to come back and rewatch that one. But for the "Someone to Love You" dynamic, for this particular person, it was they had been hurt a lot and they had shut themselves down. I asked if finding someone to love is something that you would do intentionally or would you be organic, meaning it just kind of happened. And I'm gonna tell you, a beautiful sister said, you know, she was intentional because she's a homebody, so she had to intentionally seek who her mate was. Okay, for me, it was very organic. Well, it was a different time. We met in college, and it wasn't something that was planned. It just kind of happened, you know, and it just grew, you know, and we are here now, 40-ish years later. I think it could be a lot of different dynamics. I don't think that you have to be stalking people. I do think that, especially nowadays, with less real communication, like going to places and meeting people like that, and a lot of things. You look at it. See that? Look at that. And that's because you have the condensation. So now it's going wild. So I'm gonna take it down to 7. You would think it was like because it's so hot. No, it's because the water is from the top is hitting the oil, and so it's gonna get soft on here. So you're gonna flip it again, and as you flip it again, that's cooking through. But anyway, like I was saying, the things being the way they are, so much technology and stuff, people stay in more. They don't go out as much. They don't mingle. They kind of connect online, and maybe they will go out, but they do the vast majority of the dating preliminaries that would have been done where you could see body language and stuff like that in the comforts of their home through a device. And so that being the case, it changes the whole trajectory of how you date. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people. Unless you are intentional and say, hey, I want to meet you here. We're going to go here. We're going to go here, there, everywhere, like that, like we did back in the day. So I say this to say it's different. You can date somebody way across the country somewhere for a whole year. Think you're in love with that person, and then you get in person with that person, and there are things that you don't love so much. Put it that way. And that's the difference for me. Okay, because when I dated my husband, it was organic. He tried to throw that little rap on a sister. Anyway, and so we went out, and then he would come to my house, and we would sit and we would mingle and we would talk, but it was always in person. So you couldn't get away. You know what I'm saying? If you had a twisted look on your face or whatever, it was caught because you couldn't get away. Whereas when you're doing this online, hey, you can drop your phone. You can say, I'm not getting connection, you know, whatever. So finding someone to love intentionally is something that both parties really have to be in tune with for real. And I think you have to be a little bit more intentional when you are dating that way, me personally. What do you guys think?
I agree because it's very easy for you to manipulate your, the persona through, like, when you're dating from long distance or when you're
Come
dating,
over here, beautiful
when you're
assistant.
dating digitally, it is definitely a different experience than in person because people can
Right. This is beautiful assistant.
As if y'all don't already know me.
No, everybody doesn't know you. We have new people that look all the time, and they're trying to make a decision as to, hey, do we want to stay and hang out with y'all? Okay.
Of course you do. Of course, if you did it, why not? There's no reason. Anyway, when you're dating in a digital setting versus, like, I guess in person, it is a very different situation because it's easy for you to mask online. You can tell people whatever they want to hear. When you're in person, you pick up on body language, you pick up on, the tone of their voice. There's certain non-verbal cues that you'll get when you're in person. So it's a lot harder to mask your personality, at least for long periods of time. You know what I mean? So the longer you interact with that person in person, the more you'll start to see who they are. Online, you can maintain a persona as long as you want, unless you're like talking on like not voice chat. What is it? A video chat? Maybe that might help a little bit. But yeah, so the purpose is to just spend as much time with that person as possible. But it's definitely a different arena. It's definitely a lot more difficult, and you have to be very careful. You have to be I personally feel like there's a certain criteria that you need to follow if you're going to date online, because it can become dangerous if you don't take the right steps. I've actually seen that happen, not personally to me, but I've actually, heard about a lot of people getting, into relationships or talking online and dating, and then they finally meet up and it ends up being very toxic. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got to be careful.
Well said. So you have different viewpoints. You have the old school viewpoint, and you have the current viewpoint. You know which one I like. Because see, the new school one, she was saying, you got to be, I'm sorry, can I have something for your social security? Yes. That would be me. Okay. Now let me list this. Now I'm going to have to be careful.
You can send her a red flag.
But wait 1 second.
Okay.
I gotta be careful with this because all of this condensation, look at that. You want to be mindful, but you see what I'm doing? I'm turning that lid this way, not towards me, away from me. And I'm putting it here. And so now I'm flipping it. It's nice and crispy on this side, but it's soft on the other. Okay, so I'm gonna take it down because, like I say, it's browning really, it's browning a lot. So let me take it down. Don't be afraid when you steam your chicken if you see it kind of look like it's popping apart, because that's good. You want it to do that because you know that it's cooking. Okay, so I got a lot of grease I got to clean up here, y'all. I'm just telling you. Now I'm going to put the top back on, and I'm going to clean this mess around here. Now, again, my stove is only hot in the area where the skillet is. So the bottom of the skillet, the actual skillet is hot, but around the stove it's not. If you don't have this kind of stove, wait until you're done cooking. Okay, that's what I want you to do. So I can go around it, I can do this, but if you don't have this kind of stove top, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? So what beautiful, and you asked me a question, beautiful assistant. So what are you saying?
I was gonna say, so would you consider it a red flag if a person doesn't feel comfortable giving you all their information?
Yeah, after I would talk to them all that time, yeah, because I'd be giving out mine. I'd give it out. I would give it out, but I would sure as heck we would have a date where we had background checks. That would be part of the dating process. Me personally. Especially being my age. Because first of all, at my age, I'm not trying to date no young person because I'm tired. So I don't want to date somebody that's too old that wants to be part of the furniture. I need somebody that I can relate to if I were to do that. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would have to. But see, I'll be totally honest. The vast majority of people in my age range are not really technology savvy like that, you know. So we probably have to meet somewhere. And I'm not going to say everybody. I'm not stereotyping my antique people who are worth a lot of money. Okay, I'm just saying that that's usually the case with the people that I've met. You know, so I can only go with the people that I met. But I can tell you that I would, you know, okay. And the reason why I say this, guys, is because I don't know if any of you've ever seen this 90 Day Fiance stuff. It's like, it scared me straight, okay, about anything. So this is like really doing its thing. Woo, look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna vent it just a little bit, give it a little bit of air. I'm gonna take it down to a 5 because I want to lower some of this heat. Because, honey, can you say Cajun? Yeah, but it's gonna taste delicious. Anyway, so this 90 Day Fiance thing has really shook me because I see people who have been talking to people for years who literally have never seen them, who are marrying these people. And then they get together with them and they realize, I don't know you. What have you talked about day in and day out for 4 or 5 years to the point that you marry somebody and you don't know they don't like kids? They don't want to
be. That's not always fair. Because then you come to find out later that they said one thing on the phone. Right. To allude to certain things. And that's my point. Perfect person and the stuff has actually happened, then they start second guessing and backtrack.
Well, not even that. Not that they may have said, oh, yes, I want. Oh, it's a perfect example. There was a case where I think a woman she was from America, and this person was Muslim, and she consented to turn into being Muslim and following the Muslim faith. And then when she got over there, she realized that what she wanted to do. Somebody is saying something in the chat, and I can't really see. Okay, let me check.
It says, hi there, just pulled up. What's the topic tonight? That's the topic.
Okay, tell the topic we are talking about. Could you wait to find love or not? Or are you going to rush into it? That is what we're looking at. Are you willing to wait to find that right love, or are you going to just rush right into it on impulse? And so we're looking at different songs. The first song, like I said, was Janet Jackson, and that was Let's Wait a While. Okay, and we already explored that. The second song we're into now, and it's Ruff, Endz, and it's Someone to Love You, and we're exploring that. And beautiful sister, come over here and check the temperature of this, because I think you can do that. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I'm going to move out the way. So, yeah. We'll just keep that like that. Okay, and I'm going to try to wipe the grease up because it's popping so. But anyway, Miss Tucker Bear, that's what we're exploring. Okay, so we were in the midst of talking about whether or not how we did back in the day and we had to date in person, you know. Okay, so let's get this here. Now, just like that. So that's the fastest way to cook some chicken if you want to make sure it's done, and it's thick, and it has a bone. Okay, so we're going to get it in here, and let me just put it on here because this will allow us to drain it without it sitting in oil, which is a good thing. Okay, and it was exactly what? It was more than one.
It was 189.
Okay, so we know this is well done down to the bone because it's 189. Okay, and I'm going to let y'all get a gander at this, and I'm going to put the other chicken in. Now, I want you to take a look. It has to rest. We're not done, but this is the first one. So what you think? Some big old steroid birds, ain't it? Okay, so that's the first one. So, mind you, now my oil is really seasoned. So you got to be careful and turn your heat down a little because it's going to brown even faster because I got all this good stuff on here. Okay, so what I can do now, do one or two things, which I am going to do, and I'm going to ask beautiful assistant to help me because that bottle is heavy. I'm going to pour a little bit more oil in here because it has absorbed some, and I want to have enough enough new oil to introduce so it doesn't over brown. Okay, so beautiful assistant can grab that oil, pour some more in here. I'll let it heat up some more. Just like that. And I'll tell you when. There. And that was probably about a quarter cup of oil we added. We're doing half full of this cast iron skillet. This is 12-inch. So we're doing half of that. And I'm going to heat it up, take the fire up, take it up to a 7, which is a medium high. I'm going to put my screen back on here. I'm going to wipe the condensation off of my top because it'll be ready for the next round. Okay, let me get this over here. Just like that. And just get a little of the condensation off.
Oh, no water is here.
Hey there, my friend, how are you?
I'm not getting alerts. Oh, she's not getting alerts.
Why not?
Do you have your notification on your bell? If not, do that first. And if you are, it might be a YouTube thing.
It could be.
Because I've had that happen to me a few times before.
I don't know why you're not getting alerts. Because boy, oh boy, am I sending out the signals long. Especially to the family. Especially to the family.
Do you upload to the community as well at the same time?
No, different times. But they should still get a notification when I upload my video. Okay, so anyway, so I was telling Deb what we're looking at right now. And we're just exploring a couple of songs. And of course I just knocked my pan on the floor. So let me get that up. And we're exploring these songs. So we're on the second song now. And we were talking about the difference of how it was back in the day when I was young, they used to say that kind of stuff like that, and dating. And it is different. And I don't care what anybody says because it's you like beautiful sister was saying, you can mask your behavior when you are online. You can even have a beautiful background and be in a ditch and no one knows. Okay, so you got to think about those things. Let me get my water again so I can test my heat. See, still not angry enough, y'all. So I'm waiting. So while I'm waiting, okay, I put a little bit more oil in here because these chicken, I don't know what chicken this came off of, but this chicken had to be an athlete because the thighs, the legs on this thing are humongous, which I'm not complaining because at these prices, you want to get every little piece of meat you can. Okay. However, that means that you have to be very intentional when you're cooking. So I'm trying to see if my oil is a little angry or is angry like, angry like James Brown singing The Big Payback. Okay. Because he's mad. He wants revenge. Okay. And it's still not mad enough. So we're going to let it get a little madder. And we're going to put this in. Just a little bit madder. Because, like I said, once your oil gets seasoned, then it's going to brown your meat faster. So you have to turn the temperature down a little bit more. Now I'm going to take this one more time. Okay, I think I can live with that. Okay, so let's take this off and we're going to put this in just like that. All right. And I'm not going to crowd it, and it is, I'm take it down to a 5 because I see right now it's going to brown really quickly. And I'm going to be careful with the sleeves so that I don't get oil all over my sleeves. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this back on here, cover that up, and I'm gonna watch this real close because see, this is really hot now. I'm gonna take this down to a 4. I need to bring this heat down some, but I don't want my chicken to over brown before it's done. Let me wash my hand, not the whole both hands, only have one hand that touched. Because I need to get back over here to chicken. But it smells good. Yeah. Smells very flavorful. And which it is. Y'all know, hey, we don't call this FlavaHouse for the heck of it. Okay, so yeah, so that's where we're at. So I have a question, Miss Huckabee. Okay, what do you think about that? Okay, do you think that rushing into a relationship is the best dynamic, or do you want to wait? Do you want to let it marinate? Do you want to see what can happen? Tell me something good. I'm waiting. See, I took it down, and that's great. Okay, so it calmed down a little, and I'm going to let it brown slowly because now, like I said, you're in the second batch. That's what I'm going to do. All right. So, and I'm just cleaning up. So I'm giving Deb time to respond, or Lone, who always has something good to contribute all the time. So, you know, I got what I got to say. And I see 6 lovelies just hanging out there. And you say, and what she says, read it, y'all, because I can't see. It's too far away.
In my opinion, there's no such thing as rushing.
Okay.
You move at the pace you move at in that moment.
Okay. So you're about dealing with what's happening in the moment. Okay. Yeah. I can understand that because it depends on how old you are too. You may not got all the time. Okay. However, I will agree with that, Lone, but I also will say when you move fluidly in a moment like that, you have to also be ready for the unknown more quickly. You see what I'm saying? When you move, when you have a different pace, that gives you that ability to kind of see things, you know, from a different perspective, unless you just really, really love struck and you ain't gonna see that no way. You know what I'm saying? But for me, girl, if you only knew, I'm a real cautious, real cautious. I get the word out, cautious person. Okay, in those kind of ways, I'm really cautious. Okay, let me check this. I just want to see what's going on. Yeah, see, this is brown, but this is not red. Okay, and this is too soft. So you don't want to turn this yet because when you get ready to steam it, it's not going to be the way you want it to be. So I'm going to let it cook a little bit more. I'm going to take it to a 5, so that's going to be a medium high on my stove. And I'm going to keep running my mouth. So, like I said, there are parts of me that, hey, everybody want to give into the impulsive side of themselves, or that fearless side of themselves. Some people will, some people won't. I will say for today's dating or today's meeting someone, Lone said she met her husband and was married in 6 months. By 18 months, I was in the States and what you say? And $56 and 1 suitcase. We'll be married 15 years in June. And see, that's what I'm saying. But see, the thing about it, some things, and that right there was ordained. And I'm telling you, because I truly believe that, yeah, we're going to go back to the love at first sight thing or whatever. I truly believe that you didn't just marry your husband and just let things happen. Okay? There was a part of you that knew that was your person, and he was your person. You were his person, and he was your, and vice versa. And I am sure that whatever you did in your marriage, you wanted to make him happy. He wanted to make you happy. And when you practice those kind of strategies intentionally, okay, you didn't just let everything be and you just said, I'm just going to follow you to the ends of the earth for that $56. Okay, so it was a common bond, a common trajectory that the both of you had that got you 15 years. And I'm sure you've seen the ups, the downs, the sideways, the in between, and all of that. But it was intentional for you to stay there, just like it's intentional for me. Okay, because I'm 40 something years. So what I'm saying to you is, I'm not going to tell you that, hey, if you don't meet that person, that's not going to be the one for you. But I'm going to tell you along the way while you're with that person, you are taking the time to get to know them. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm going to tell you again, I go back to them, that 90-day fiance stuff. When you are on the phone with somebody, or on, not the phone, but I guess what you're on the phone, you're on the device, or whatever device you're on, and you're talking to them like I'm talking to you, I can show you anything. You don't know what's going on around here. I can have a circus running around here for all you know. Okay, I'm giving you the best of me. I'm not going to give you the worst of me. You know what I'm saying? And when the worst of me comes out, you may get, hey, my streaming may stop. You never know. So my thing is, along with having these conversations when you are doing it digitally, I think there should be other methods also, and you should have deeper conversations. That's what I'm saying. Because ultimately, whatever you feel, you cannot conceal what you feel forever. And I hear so much, oh, they've changed. Oh, they ain't changed. They're the same person they were. They just weren't revealing everything to you. They didn't change. Not at all. Oh, that is delicious. Oh, this is the mocktail that goes with the delicious crispy honey butter chicken that we're having. And that is called a citrus blitz. So let me check my chicken. Look in. Okay, and let me just see if it's ready to turn. And see, it's ready to turn. Okay, so let me get this all turned over. And I'm turning on one side, turning on the other. I'm going to brown it. And I'm browning this slower than I did the first one because this oil is very seasoned and it will brown quickly, but it won't be ready. Because I'm looking at blood coming up off of it now. So, yeah. So, I'm kind of rotating it because, like I said, I got these hot spots. Okay. And I'm going to let that cook on that side. And then we're going to steam it through and it'll be ready. Just like that. So, beautiful assistant has dipped on me because I was going to ask her a question. But, like I said, because I can't sit up and tell you, I'm going to be totally honest. When I met my husband, okay, as I told you, I met him at college. But before I met him, I had seen him sashaying back. Because, see, when you go to, a lot of times you go to college, you have classes, and you're a freshman, your classes are so far apart. And so I would have a class in the morning, but I may not have my next class until, I have a class at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I have my next class until maybe noon. So the student lounge was where everybody congregated. And back then, you played music, they played cards, they did things, people studied, they did things to entertain themselves in between classes. Well, my husband was quite popular. He was in a grade higher than me. And so I used to see him or whatever, but I'm like, hey, I really wasn't in the pursuit of a relationship at that point because I was pretty young. I graduated high school pretty young, so I was pretty young. And my trajectory was I wanted to be a singer. So that's all I wanted to do. So I was not thinking about men or boys or anything else. But what I knew I didn't want was I wanted someone who was open to the possibilities. Okay. So he was very, okay, they had like the GQ guy and they had the roundaway guy. The roundaway guy dressed it in the trendy, whatever was trendy back then. But the GQ guy was the suit, the tie, like on, if you ever see, look it up. I don't know if they still have GQ magazine. Very well coiffed. And that was my husband. Okay. So that was something that appealed to me. I never thought he would talk to me. And then, like I said, for half a year, he sashayed back and forth. And I want to put all his business in the street. However, I was the one over there reading the book. And so he rolled up on me and he said something crazy to me. And it just started a conversation. And we just started talking. And we talked and we talked and we talked. Well, back then they did not have cell phones. They didn't have beepers. They didn't have none of that. They had your house phone that was connected to your wall, okay, and it had a cord that was stapled around your wall. And if you were lucky, you had a phone cord that was 100 feet long, so you could kind of move around your kitchen, and maybe you got tangled. And you had to be careful because that cord could get a shortage in it, and then you'd have to call a telephone company to come out there to fix stuff. But I learned how to fix my own cords. That's another story. However, so we would talk a lot on the phone. Back then, when you talked on the phone, you had a busy signal. There was no call waiting. There was no somebody could beep through and get to you. If you were on your mama's phone for 5 hours talking to somebody, no one else could get through. You know, so if you're sitting there with stars in your eyes talking to them, and there would be...
They didn't have call waiting?
No, they didn't have any call waiting. They did not. They had, first of all, they had rotary phones. Some people had little touch tone phones, whatever. But they didn't have call waiting, so you got a busy signal when somebody was on the phone. If you took the phone off the hook, there was a busy signal, so no one could get through. And so if you had a teenager or you had somebody who was talking to people or whatever, you'd be calling. Well, first of all, you're calling if you're calling from outside, you're lucky enough to pull up on what's called a telephone booth, okay? Which y'all probably don't know nothing about that either. They didn't took them away too. Okay, well, I know. But I'm saying, so you will call from outside and you have to have 10 cents, 25, whatever. But usually what happens is when you left your house, that was it for the day. You didn't talk to nobody. It was like, hey, you was on. That's what I'm saying. If I see people, if they lose their cell phones, it's like there has been an unalive in the family. Okay? I can lose my cell phone. I know every single number that's important to me by heart. I know my very first telephone number from when I was a kid. But my point is, to connect with him, I had to really, really talk a lot of stuff because you were on this phone like this, holding to the side, and you doing everything with the phone because you don't want the connection to stop. And it would go into the fact of you will fall asleep type thing. So, yeah, so we spent a lot of time talking. We spent a lot of time walking. We spent a lot of time just getting to know who we were with each other and things like that, and getting to really know that for me, I knew, that if I was going to be with anybody, it was going to be him. I can't speak for him, but he's still here, so maybe that meant the same thing. So let me check. No, let me check the chicken. I'm not going to check that question. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, so it's brown on this side here. And I need it. Now I'm going to let it do it just a couple of seconds more because it's not as crisp as I want it because, like I said, I got to put the top on it. So while I do this, I'm going to have beautiful assistant start our secret side. So all I need you to do is to do the potatoes for me, and I'll put the seasoning and stuff in there because I want to pop it in the oven. Okay, so. And she's going to show you what we're doing. It's going to be a lovely, almost like a cheesy baked potato mass casserole type thing that I thought would go really good with this. And it's just really good. So I'm going to make that for you. However, so back to what I was saying, because I know I just went all off the left field. I say I want to be in person. I want to meet you at some point. I may meet you online, but yeah, I'm sorry. If you live in California, you better get local. For me. Okay. Now, if you're put it this way, if you're gun shy and you really don't know if you want that relationship, I guess dating online is a safety net because you can always sign off. Think about it. You can always sign off. They don't have to know where you live unless they do that Google Maps thing, right? Unless they do the Google Maps thing. So when you do a live date and you invite someone to your house, that could then become the stalker. Because the stalker knows where you live and you probably have to move if you wanted to ghost them. You wouldn't be able to ghost them, would you? So
What all do you want me to put in?
I want you to take the chicken broth and make the potatoes into potatoes. So what we have here,
Make them normal? Oh,
yeah, the normal, yes. Okay, so what we have here, you know me, I'm only gonna give y'all a hack. I have my home style Idahoan potatoes, but we are going to make this taste lovely. And don't say nothing, Lone Wanderer, because listen, I work and we all work, and my millennials work. So therefore, they need to learn how to make this stuff taste good. You can always make fresh potatoes when you have time, but when I finish with this, you ain't gonna want to. Okay, so because I know Lone about to say something. Okay, and that's part of what I do here. I want you to be able to have the flavors and the foods and the things that you like, but to make it a little simpler for you, so it will promote you. Would you say you make instant all the time? No, okay, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, because listen, I'd rather have instant than to have cereal. How about that? Okay, so that be the case. Like I said, I don't know. Y'all, I can't even lie to you. I probably wouldn't do anything. I'd probably just keep on doing these shows or whatever if I had to be alone, because I wouldn't be lonely, because I got you. See? That's why you get a YouTube show. So you don't have to be lonely. But for this particular song, like I said, Someone to Love You, I think that if I had been wounded, I would probably be more guarded. I think because of what I know in this life, if I really wanted to be with somebody, I would probably open myself up enough to get a glimpse and see if and kind of see. I would definitely wait. Okay, I wouldn't rush right in, only because I know who I am. So it really depends on the person and the circumstance. I truly, 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 truly believe that. I don't think it's cookie cutter. And for this particular situation, because she was wounded and she had never had someone to really see her and love her the way she should be loved, it made it difficult for the person who was trying to show her it can be different this time. And so I'm hoping that he, she, or whomever was able to get through that opening and that this person let them in so they can give it a shot. Because everybody needs somebody sometimes. Well, so now we're down to my guy. You know, Luther can't do no wrong. He can't sing. He can't sing anything wrong. He could sing the alphabet, and I'd be like, yes. Okay, I'd be like, buy it. Yes. Well, he could have. And he's singing somewhere out there in the cosmos right now. So we're talking about Wait for Love. In this particular song, Luther talks about waiting for love, but they have a relationship already. And so they have waited to progress, to get to know each other, to progress to the next level. So now they're at the point where he feels, and he's saying this to her, that we have done all these things, we've gotten to know each other, and now we're waiting to move. We've waited enough, now we need to move to the next step. How long is too long to wait? Anybody? What do you guys think?
Depends on the person.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
It has to. Like, there's no cookie cutter rule to relationships or time or. Huh?
You're a mess.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's no cookie cutter amount of time or like, anything like that. It depends on your personal preference.
Okay, is 2 years too long to wait? Is 3 years too long to wait?
Again, it depends on you. I would say, no, that's way too long.
Is 5 years too long to wait?
Way too long.
But you just said it depends on you.
Exactly. And me say too long. Way too long.
Okay, guys, I'm going to turn the fire up a little because this is kind of coasting along. I'm going to take it to a 6. So
like some people feel like if you say those words, that somehow it changes the dynamic of your relationship. And so the action is speaking instead of the verbal. You know what I mean?
Okay, so tell them what you did, because you just over here cooking and didn't tell them nothing.
My apologies. So I put 2 I'm sorry, where's my cup at? I put 2 cups of, I had some chicken broth in the refrigerator. 2 of those. I'm getting ready to scoop 1 cup of the potatoes and mix it into, I seasoned my,
I need to put it inside this here. So she's gonna have to
okay,
double
second
it.
thought, double that recipe. So I put a little bit of butter in there, probably about a quarter tablespoon. I put some Casey's blessing, a tiny bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. That's it right now.
Okay.
After that, you're gonna do the rest of the seasoning.
Right. After that, I will put the rest of the seasonings in. Once we get the potatoes to the consistency we want.
Okay.
And
so
then we'll add the
add
extra.
a little
And
more.
you know what I'd like you to add? Add a tablespoonful of this minced garlic
I was gonna do that. I thought you were gonna do
and some of the herbs.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know
So
if you were
she's gonna add a tablespoonful of minced garlic to the water, to the fluid, to the liquid. Now you can use water, you can use broth. You just used to you gotta have liquid. Okay. I have the rest of this chicken in here, and I'm about to take it out to put it on this plate so it can kind of just air. So I'm gonna get another glove. Yeah, I'm getting another glove. Okay, y'all. Because I repeat, I will not touch the chicken. Just like that. So my thing is, she says, and what did you say again? Because I forgot.
I said it's up to the individual how long is too long for the word love, as long as the action is there, in my opinion. However, if you're a person who is like like your love language is words of affirmation, you may need to hear it sooner than someone whose love language isn't that. You know? For me personally, I don't want to wait but so long, but you don't want to say it too soon, and then it makes it weird.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about saying the words. I'm talking about taking action on the fact that you've had this relationship with this person, and you want to go maybe to marriage, or be engaged, or just more committed, or because you may have this comfortable relationship where you are still seeing other people.
Okay, so are you okay? So again, it depends on where you are in your relationship. I didn't know that. So if you're not exclusive yet, and you're trying to move to that step, yeah, no, that's very different. Don't wait on that. If that's something that is like a deal breaker for you, and it's been a significant amount of time, I would definitely pose the question, like, okay, where are we going with this? Is this just we just gonna joyride and keep riding forever, or are we moving in a direction? You know, nothing wrong with clarifying, but let me see. I could say for me, I don't know, when I'm sure about something, it's not a time frame for me personally. However, I just saw a message pop in. My love language is botching and moaning while I cook you a decent meal while I throw the crap you were trying to eat. What she say? Come on, what is that? My love language is botching and moaning while I cook you a decent meal while I throw the crap you were trying to eat in the trash.
Okay.
You done made your own love language.
Okay.
I feel you.
You need to write a book of your love languages. Okay.
I love it.
That's what you need to do. So I'm throwing away the rest of this because I just dropped a glove in here. But I got it all in here. You could like drop that over there in the trash for me.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Okay, and I'm gonna clean this up. Okay. And I just got the chicken sitting here, this last batch to go in. But anyway, okay, so she's saying this. So I'm saying you can have, okay, let's say what the scenario is.
Yeah.
If, say, we're friends, we hang out, we really vibe. We don't really see anybody else. We just like each other's company. And we have been waiting maybe for love. Maybe this person's been waiting for love to blossom. Sometimes people get in relationships and it's platonic and you have the other person really growing to love that person and waiting for them to realize they love them. So now that we're at this point where we're on the same page, where you want to take this? Do we continue to wait? Do you say, hey, it ain't broke, don't fix it? Do I say I need more? Are you willing to wait, or you just want to rush right in? Because now you're taking your situation from being that friend to being that person.
I mean, you have to ask the question, like, if you were to take that leap, what changes? Because technically, like, the dynamic of the relationship shouldn't change just because you solidify it.
No, it shouldn't, but sometimes it does with people. You'd be surprised. Sometimes, and I'm just going to use men and women, or women. Sometimes when you make a commitment, we're exclusive. This is my person, or whatever. People's personalities change. They become more possessive. They become more clingy. They become more territorial. Because it's official type thing. You may have a situation where you're dating someone and they don't mind you wearing mini skirts or before you say, I'm going to be a fiance. Then you turn and it's like, okay, that dress kind of short, isn't it? Or they met you that way and now all of a sudden you need to cover up something. And you're like, okay, but you were attracted to me this way. But see, now I become a different dynamic to you. Okay, so you have those situations where a lot of times people are afraid to move forward for fear that the way that their relationship is now will differ if they make a certain commitment. Right. You have to make that bigger. Okay. Okay, so let me pull this up. Okay, and like I said, when you get the condensation, you want to turn your top away from you. Okay, this is not cooking as fast as the other one. I just want to turn it over. Okay, that's good. Turn it over. Just like that. Okay. And I'm going to put the top on again. And when I do this again, to crisp it on the other side, then it'll be ready. And I can get that last batch in. Yeah, I need it kind of stiff. Okay, so I'm going to put the top back on again. Let's see. Just a little tad more, just a little tad stiffer. Now what she's doing is she's making the potatoes, and I need them kind of stiff. I'm going to put it on quick bake. I'm going to put on a quick preheat at 450. And let's start this, kind of heat it up, my oven. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm not yet. Okay. Yeah, you put a little more in there. I'm just trying. I'm sitting over here tripping because she got little pellets of flakes on my stove. It's snowing. And I'm dying over here because I want to clean it so bad.
It's snowing taters.
Okay, now I need you to put a little bit because now she's put the garlic. Did you put the garlic? She put the garlic in there. She put what else?
I put the herbets in.
She put the herbets, the garlic,
a little bit of butter, some Casey's blessing.
She put the Casey's blessing.
A little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper.
A little bit of salt. She always got to throw the salt.
Just a little.
Okay, clean that off, please, because I'm dying. Okay, so now it's very stiff. So you're like, why do you want it so stiff? Because I'm getting ready to spread this into a pan. So it's pretty stiff. But before I do, I'm going to put a little about an 1/8 cup of cream.
I was about to put
heavy whipping cream in here.
I sure was. I didn't know if you wanted it or not.
Yeah, I want it.
Okay.
Heavy whipping cream in there. And then I'm going to get my little pans. I love these little pans. They are just foil, but they are a stronger foil. So they're kind of between like a real pan and a fake pan. So I'm going to just, this right here, and I'm putting it in there. Let me rinse this out. Get that all rinsed out. Put that over here. Dry it out. Now at this point, you could get some bacon or whatever, but I'm not gonna do it. But you can do that if you want.
For those who think the pig.
Yes, I do dig the pig, but I'm not going to do it.
Okay, it's still pretty stiff, but
Okay, I want that. Put a little bit more.
Ooh, that's an arm workout right there.
Yeah, it's an arm workout, but it's worth it. And then get the cheeses. And then we're going to get the cheeses. We're going to get. We need to chop up. Did I get green onions or chives? I got chives.
Yeah, chives.
I want some chives. Okay, let me check my chicken because I took it up to a 6. Let me see what's going on. Oh, it's doing perfect. Okay. So at this point, she's going to get some chives and she's going to get the cheese. It's very simple. We're going to take that butter and we're going to layer and we're just going to pop it in the oven and let all of that melt together. And we got 2 different types. I got Tillamook. I got Tillamook, a triple cheddar blend, and then I have my lovely Latrona quesadilla cheese, which I love. Now the triple cheddar blend has a sharp cheddar, a mild, a medium white, and a medium cheddar cheese. So I think that those flavors should blend pretty well. We'll see what happens. Okay, because this is poetry in the making, y'all. Okay, so she's over there cutting up the chives that I want on there. I'm sitting here with this chicken because I don't want anything to happen to my chicken. Nothing. Okay, so yeah. Okay. We take a look, see how crispy it is on that side. I know it's done. I can look at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is by now.
Okay.
I'll still check it.
It's nice and brown because I have all this paprika and Casey blessing and all that good stuff on there. So it's nicely seasoned. I'm just going to flip it one more time before I take it out to make sure it's nice and crispy because remember, we still have our honey butter drizzle that we're going to make to put on there. And that's going to be really tasty. Okay, got that. Let me make sure to put this screen over here while I go over and get my little strainer part where I got the chicken, put that on there. Get this little batch off and get the next batch on. And this is the final batch. Okay, my oven just went off. That's a good thing. Okay, and I have a piece of foil back there in the back. That's just he's sitting there lonely by itself. Okay, so let me take this. I should have checked it before I turned it on. Okay, but we shall see. Are we done with the potatoes?
Maybe it's done.
Okay, yes, because you had the packets in there.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay, let's stick this here. Move that over here. Wipe this off. Just like that. Okay. You can put that over there on the table as you wipe your stuff up. Okay, and let me wipe this up. Get that over here. As I move this stuff over, then you'll have space. I'm going to take this and I am going to get my chicken up out of here and put the next batch in. The final countdown. Yes, I am. Okay. And I don't even have to put a thermometer on this because my fork is going right through it. Through the very top. Just like that. Oh, yeah. There you go. Okay, so now I just get that final batch in. I'll let you guys see the rest of these. And so this is what you got thus far. We're not done yet. Okay, so we're going to move this over. Put this over here. Okay, and now I got to make sure my oil is where it needs to be for the next batch. Now you're into the third batch. This oil is so seasoned until, you got to be careful right now because you don't want it to get too hot. Because it's going to really brown the stuff quickly. Okay, so that's a nice heat. It's at 6. Let's see what we got. I'm going to put the first one in. Matter of fact, let me do a little bit of water, test a little water dance. And see, cover this up. Do a little water. And it could be a little hotter. Okay. I'm gonna take it up to a 7, just to get a little hotter, just a teeny tiny, teeny weeny bit hotter. Not too much, because like I said, the only reason I'm doing that because I got these 4 and they're really big. And so they're gonna make my temperature go down if it's crowded. So I'm gonna let it heat just a little. Okay. I'm thinking that is ready. So we're going to take a leap of faith. We're going to be impulsive. We're going to do what we feel. And we're going to stick this chicken in here. How about that? Okay. So the fact that it's smoking lets me know that it's pretty hot. So I'm going to take it down to a 5. Because I don't want this to get too brown before it's ready. So that's the last of it. We make sure this is pretty coated. This one is huge. I don't know what chicken this came from. Okay. All right. So we're going to put the top, this screen on here. I'm going to clean my hands. And I'm going to come here and clean around here. And I'm going to watch this because it's pretty hot. I told you guys with these cast iron skillets, stainless steel and cast iron gets hot. Once it gets hot, it gets really hot. So that's the thing there. Okay. So
Long said, how many pieces were you able to cook in one?
I'm doing 4 because they're so big. If they were normal size and not Fred Flintstone chicken, then I probably could get 6 in there at one time. But I'm doing 4 long because I don't want to crowd the pan. If I crowd the pan, it'll take the temperature down, and I don't want to do that. So, yeah, I did 3 batches because Beautiful Assistant had what? How many chickens? 12 chickens. 12 drumsticks, 12 chickens.
12 chickens.
So that's why.
Yeah, you know about chicken.
Yeah, do you know? Oh, y'all don't want to see. She going to make me tell her secret. She going to make me tell. I'm going to say the secret for tomorrow. That's going to be Weekend Eat story time. I'm going to tell y'all about Beautiful Assistant's relationship with chicken. And she was a little child. So if you want to hear that story, you better come. Because it's a good one. Yeah. She knows she want me to tell this spill all her tea. That's why she said it. She want me to spill all her tea, y'all. Okay, so let me get over here. Let me wipe this up. Okay, this is browning slowly, which is nice, a 5. I'm going to get these potatoes and show you what I'm talking about. So we got the potatoes, and the potatoes are very stiff, and we want them stiff. I'm going to get my pan and my cooking spray, and I'm going to get a knife, and I'm going to have it so I can cut my butter. I'm going to have a little bit of celery flakes because I like that. Let me bring this over here. And this is a simple recipe. It ain't hard. Okay. Oh, I need one more thing. A little bit of sour cream. That's what I need. Okay, so I'm going to spray this pan. A little cooking spray so it doesn't stick. Then I'm going to take this pot. I'm going to show you how stiff these are. And you're like, how are you doing this stiff? Because it's my kitchen and I want you. You see, that's stiff. But I need this like this. It's a reason. Okay, so for those of you just coming in, these potatoes have cream, heavy whipping cream. They were cooked in chicken broth. They have Casey's Blessing, which is my signature seasoning. You can use whatever all-purpose seasoning you have. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, some Italian herbs and basil, fresh. What else do we have? Butter, and that was it, right? Okay, so far, but we're not done. Did we put the garlic in?
Yeah, garlic.
And we have minced garlic in here too. So now we're going to take this mixture, and I am going to put just a teeny tiny bit of sour cream in, just to give it that little tang. Okay, so let me find it. Okay, I'm looking, and it's way back here where the tall people go. So I'm gonna take.
Wanderer said topic for next week. When is it truly time to dip from a relationship?
Oh, you just see, you want trouble, right? And see, then you'll have me do that loan, and then you'll dip on me. Okay. If you promise to come and say something, then I'll consider it. How about that? Because you have good thought patterns that ignite the fire. So if you say you're gonna come, yes, then that could be the topic. Because I can always find a song about dipping. Yes, I can. So, do you agree? She said she'll be there. So, that's what we're going to be talking about. So, jot that down, beautiful sister, so this brain cell can remember.
Okay.
Okay? Jot that down because we will talk about that. I'm going to take this is about a tablespoonful of the sour cream. Okay? And let me close this back up. I'm making a mess. Okay, so close that back up and get a paper towel so I can get rid of it. Okay, just like that. Okay, look at this, child. Okay, let me get this out the way. Okay, just like that. I'm trying my darndest not to touch nothing. Y'all, you see how intentional I'm being? Okay, so I'm gonna stir this in to this mixture, just like that. And the reason why I want it stiff is because I'm going to spread it and I'm going to layer it. So that's very important for it to be kind of stiff because these are mashed potatoes. So you're like, okay, but trust the process. I haven't steered you wrong yet. If you tried these recipes, you know I haven't steered you wrong. If you haven't tried them, you might want to because I got a lot of them. So if someone ever says to you, what's for dinner? Why we got to have the same thing again and again? Tell them to go over to my channel. I got what? Almost 300 recipes, all different. I could keep you in recipes for 2 years and you would eat the same thing. How about that? I think that's saying a lot. You know, you have to watch a lot of TV, but yeah.
Mom said everyone wants a relationship to last forever, but that's not always possible.
No, it's not.
That's just that's your jumping off point. There's your jumping off point.
And like I was saying, Long, relationships are a risk. If you're not willing to take a chance, really, you're not ready to deal with a relationship because they are a risk. Okay, let me turn this over. These are some big ones here. Oh my gosh, it's so big. These are huge. I'm scared of these. I may have to turn these twice. Let me see. Okay, let me flip y'all over. Okay. All right, yeah, y'all are huge. That's okay, because we're gonna get y'all done. Okay, so we're gonna get this over here. And you're absolutely right. Like I said, if you're looking for guarantees, you might not want to pursue a relationship until you're ready to understand that it's work. It may be work for not. You may have not chosen the right person to work with. But again, that's what I say. Sometimes if you know you and they know themselves and you know each other, you can take that leap. And if you're fearless, and then if you're cautious, whatever makes you feel comfortable is the best direction to go. That's what I'm gonna say. How about that? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take half of this mixture of the potatoes and I'm gonna put it in this pan. Just half of it. And I'm gonna try to spread it because it's so thick. Who knows? I'm gonna try to spread it in here. I need, beautiful sister, can you give me a plastic knife, please? Because I need to, it's like we can take this and just Yeah, we can do this, we can do that. We can do this. Hey. Yes, so I'm going to get it all off of here. So I'm going to get a plastic. Yes, I am. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to get it all off of my spoon, and I'm going to spread it. And you're like, why are you making this? I need it like this. Trust me. I need it like this. Okay, so I'm going to spread it in the bottom of the pan as evenly as I can. Yes, I am. Just like that. Just kind of spread it like you're spreading. You're just kind of making it even, as even as you can. Okay, and that's why I wanted it stiff, so I could spread it and spread it out into the pan. Okay, just like that. That's why I wanted it stiff. That's why. So I can layer this and have the layers of flavor. That is why I did what I did. There's always method behind my madness. Yes, it is. So I'll show you what it should look like after you spread it. Okay. All right. So this is what you need to. This is what you got. You see it? See it's so thick. Can you guys see? Okay. This is what. Okay. That's what you want. It's sliding because I got some cooking spray in there. So now what you want to do? You want to take your chives and you just want to sprinkle your chives over that layer. Okay. So how many chives did you cut up? All of the chives. So she didn't even count them. So she chopped up a whole pile of chives. So now I'm going to take a little bit of this celery flakes. I love celery flakes. I love the flavor. And yes, they're dry, but they will reanimate. And I'm just going to put it right on top. And I'm going to show you all of the seasonings and stuff that I'm putting on. So not to worry. And then I'm going to take some basil. Which one is my basil? I'm going to take my basil of my herbettes. And I'm going to, thank you very much. So now the knife went. I tell you. Just don't want you to be great. Huh? Okay, so this is a little bit of basil. I hope I have some more. Because this is all gone now. All right, but yeah, and I really do need that knife, so I'm going to have to get that. Okay, this is parsley. I need some more basil, and I need the parsley. I need basil, and I'm going to need a knife. Because the knife was flying underneath there. Because I need to cut this butter up over it. So after that, all you're going to do, and I'm going to hit it again with a little bit of Casey's Blessing. Just like this. Okay. And I'm going to slice some butter over this. Thank you very much. Okay. And just put some slices of butter over it. Over the potato. So I have this little knife here, and I'm going to do some little pats of butter, and they're going to look just like this. And I'm just going to lay them nicely on top, just like that, little pieces. So I got maybe 9 pieces of butter, and it'll cover every area. Because I'm going to end up using this whole stick, but you know, I'm cutting it and kind of spreading it out. Okay, so now in comes the cheese. So the first cheese I'm going to use is this Lechona quesadilla cheese because it has great pull. I love it. Okay, and so I'm using about a cup of this. So I'm doing a half a cup on this layer and then a half a cup on the other. So I'm just going to take it and sprinkle it just like that over there. And then I'm going to take my other cheese and do the same thing. I'm going to take this cheese, the triple cheddar cheese, and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, and Lone is saying something.
Lone is saying, where is Casey's Blessing? When can purchase?
Okay, so this is the deal. I am having Shopify issues, Lone, in order for you guys to buy it. Okay, so I'm working on the site trying to get that area fixed. And believe it or not, you don't have a whole lot of live customer service people, you know, so I've been working in between working my job on the phone with these people trying to get it to work, okay, because once you start buying, I don't want there to be any problems. I want to make sure that you have the right refund policy, all that stuff like that. But I got you. I need for you to email me, Lone, and I'll tell you how you can get yours, okay? You will get it. Don't worry, because I want everybody to be able to talk about it. Yes, I do. So now that I have this, I'm going to let you see. I'm going to try to let y'all see. So, okay, because the color is still white, but it's white. So I got, okay, there you go. Okay, so I have layered this. So now I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to do the same thing with the rest of these potatoes. So let me get them in. And then I'm going to spread it, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just like that. Okay, let's get all the potato in there. And then we're going to spread it. Oh, boy, that's a big one. Pat it down. And see, this you would say, oh, this is so small, but trust me, this is a lot of potato in this little square pan. We'll have leftovers. We will have leftovers. So, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, you can take this and put like some meat in here if you want, some hamburger meat. You can put Lois's favorite, lamb, everything. You can put some chunks of chicken in there. You can do a lot. Put some mushrooms in there, make it vegetarian. You can do a lot of stuff with this. And just make it a nice little casserole, too. So there's things you can do. There are a lot of things you can do with this. Okay, so patting that down, just like that. Making it nice and cute. Okay. It's a lot of red tape when you're selling stuff. It really is. I just wish I could stand outside and just be a vendor with a cart and say, here, come take this, taste this, and taste some food along with it. But you know, hey, what can you do? You do what you can do. So now I'm going to take my chives, spread it on the top, just like that. The rest of them, all of them, just take them all. Just put them all over the top. And I'm going to check this chicken because I've been over here tending to this too long. And I'll go over there and that chicken will be more than Cajun. Okay, so let's check it out. There you go. Okay, so turn you. This stuff is thick. It's I don't know what. Oh my goodness, it's so thick. Turn you over. She turned over. See, this one right here, I need for this to cook some more. It needs to cook a little bit. I need it to be, I need to move it around. Because it's not as crunchy as I want it because I'm cooking it slow. So I'm going to turn it up a little. And like I said, this little hot spot, it gets on my last nerve. But I'm going to turn it up just a bit to a 6 so it can get that crunch on the side. Because when I cover it, it's going to steam it through. Okay, so I'm going to get my basil. Put a little basil on here. Just a little pinch on top. Because basil makes the body good. I'm going to take a little bit of my celery flakes, but I'm not doing the hard part. I'm taking the little thin flakes. I'm kind of separating them, and I'm just sprinkling them on top. And, you know, just the same layering process that I just did. I'm going to do a little bit of blessings because my food must be blessed and highly flavored all the time. Flavored, yes. And get that on there. And then I'm going to do my little 9 pats of butter and 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves. Okay? I know, right? It's not Christmas. But it will be at some point. And I'm going to put that on top there, and one there, and one there, and another one here. And let me take that because I'm making them bigger so I can make them fit. And I have one more because I said I was going to use this whole stick of butter, and I am. Okay, get that on here. And now I'm gonna press the butter down in here because this is getting kind of top heavy. So I'm going to put a little bit of the cheese on here. Okay, just like that. Of the lechona cheese. And then I'm going to top it off with the rest of my 3 cheddar. And then we're going to pop it in the oven with a light tent on. Do we have any non-stick?
Yeah.
We're going to put a little bit of non-stick foil on here, only because I have the cheese and I don't want it to stick. And this got kind of big, bigger than what I thought it was going to be in this little pan. I could have let her make less, but you know what? It's going to be so good until we're going to need to have home with us more. And maybe, just maybe, if my sister decides to come anytime between the next 2 weeks or whatever, I can put some in here and save some for her. Hint, hint. Okay, so put that in here. I got my last little bit on there, just like that. And try to make sure that everything gets in. Okay, and we should be cooking with gas, y'all. Okay, so I got everything in here. I'm gonna let you guys see it. And then we get this all mess all cleaned up. So I'm patting it down so I can get the foil on it. But this is, it is very heavy. So this is what, let's see. Focus. See, there you go. That's what it looks like. So we're gonna get in the oven. I'm gonna put, and I'm check this chicken because the chicken went up.
Mom said enter all these competitions or call Costco. Maybe a little grocery store or co-op will sell it for you or with you.
Yeah, but you gotta have a, well, I can do it because the license that I have, I can do that. Okay. But what I plan to do first is I want to offer it to my people out there who have been supporting me. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see how that goes. You always trying to make me go big or hard. You gotta see if you like the stuff first. Okay, so let me put it on here, and I know you will. Now, the problem I always have with this foil is wondering what side is up. So I'm thinking that
It says it on there.
it says what?
The non-stick side.
Okay. It says it here too.
It says on both sides?
Yes. Sure does.
I've never noticed.
So I'm going to put it.
The side that's a little bit less shiny.
That's dull. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know it
So,
said on both
yep,
sides.
it sure did. Okay, so we're going to lightly put this on here so you can see through a little. And I'm going to put a little foil, regular foil, in my oven in case this thing decides to go bubbling brown sugar on me. You know, that's what I'm doing. Just a touch of that. Okay, so this is something else you want to do when your oven is full. I'm pretty much an expert at this, so that's why I'm doing it. And I thought that there was a piece in here already, but it's not. So I'm pulling it out. I'm not touching anything hot. I'm putting my piece of foil. It's not all that neat, but I'm sticking it in here anyway, just to make sure. I'm going to stick this in here on the middle and put it in there, just kind of let the cheese melt. And once it's melted, I'll take the top off and just let it brown a little. And there you have that. Beautiful assistant, Mama Tide. Can you clean this off? Okay, for me, I'm going to check the chicken. Because then I want to make the honey butter sauce. Huh? I just want you to get that stuff off of there so I can have room to make the honey butter sauce, and I'm going to need that pot for the sauce. Okay, because I don't want you to have to dig for the small one. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to make sure that was brown. Now, this is not going to see, this is almost done now because I cooked it. So you have a couple of ways of frying the chicken. You can fry it very slow, no top, no nothing. You can fry it kind of quick, brown it on both sides, and then put a top on to steam it and flip it again. Okay? I'm getting ready to put a little top on here, even though the vast majority of the meat is done. But I want to make sure because it's so thick. So I'm going to put the top on. I'm going to take it up to 7 and let that heat kind of permeate. You might have to put that in if you in the sink because it's done. I don't really need it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. And I'm going to watch this because guess what? Guess why? Because it may decide that it want to get overly hot and not do what I want to do. But I did want to get back to, like I said, the wait for love aspect of this because for the song, the songwriter, who I don't know whether Luther wrote the song or not, but the storyline is, like I said, he wants to take it to the next level. He thinks that they're ready and that they waited long enough, okay? And that their relationship is stable enough for them to do that. You know, I don't know whether or not the person he's talking to feels the same way. It kind of sort of makes me think they do, but I'm going to be totally honest. You need to be on the same page regardless of what your relationship status is. You really need to be, because I'm going to tell you, if you're sitting around here hoping, wishing, and thinking that it's going to change because you want it to, I'm so sorry, okay? You got to be on the same page. You got to be intentional. You have to be intentional at that point when you are trying to create a sense of longevity, because you can't fake the funk forever, you know? And you can't make somebody love you if that ain't what it's going to be. You may think you can, and some people try to convince themselves that they can, but truly, honestly, at the end of the day, because there's so many dynamics to a relationship and so many dynamics to the compromise and all the things you have to do to make it work for a long period of time, because there's always constant changing. You are changing and growing as a person, okay, hopefully. And so therefore, you want to kind of go on the same trajectory. You don't have to do things at the exact same time, but there needs to be some type of progress in both parties, you know, in order for you to have some stability. Because if you're here and you stay here and you never change as a person, and I'm here and I've changed as a person, the things that I liked or felt when I was here may be totally different. But then I may be that person that can accept that you just want to stay there. So it depends on the relationship and how you view it and how you view yourself. Okay, so let me check and see. Okay. Yeah, I think it's at a good spot. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna get my honey sauce going. And this is very simple. Not hard at all. So I'm gonna drink this, yes I am. First thing I'm gonna do is take the stick of butter and I'm gonna melt it. But let me spray my pan because I'm just paranoid like that. Even though this is marketed as non-stick, I see 7 lovely people in there. And if this is some place that you feel home, hey, make it your home. Subscribe, like. These are things that will help me continue to be able to be here and hopefully one day do it full time, because that is my dream, to be with you all the time. Child, let me tell you something. If I get to be here all the time, I'll probably be here every day. I'll be like, I'm so sick of her. I'd be here. Wherever you look, I'll be there. Okay, so I'm going to put the butter in, and I'm going to melt the butter slowly on the stove. So I'm going to put the butter on maybe a 2. So that's right above non-existent simmer, okay? Let me check out my chicken. And again, if you haven't seen, the condensation needs to go away from you and your face. Get that over there. And I'm going to check it out, turn it. And then I am going to put the top on again, because this stuff is almost done. Because I cooked it so slow that it's cooked nicely. And I can get it out. The fork going right through it. Going right through it. I'm going to put the lid on it again. Let it crisp up on that side. They got a little soft from the steam. And then I'll probably just brown it a little bit on the other side. to make sure. Well, let's get this on here. And that chicken will be ready. I'm just waiting for our potatoes. Okay, the butter is doing its thing. And do I have my extra honey? Yeah, I'm going to need more honey. Yes, I'm going to need more. More. How do you like it? How do you like it? I can get it. Where is it? On the second shelf? Okay, sounds good. Okay, I hope it's not too high.
No,
Because...
like right in front of you.
Oh, I see it. All right. Now we told you honey is expensive as heck, y'all. So I had to get the honey in the little bell. But the little bell was $5.99. Everything else was astronomical. I could have gotten a beehive and got the honey myself. So yeah. Everything's expensive. And of course, I would choose a profession, a cooking show, right? When all the food is expensive. Well, when I chose it, it wasn't like this. But I'm going to keep coming at you. Okay, so. Oh, yeah. Almost there. Almost there. All right. But yeah, back to what I was saying with this particular song. So it can be at any stage of the relationship. It can be where you're friends going into a romance that's been stagnant at a certain spot because of whatever reason. Now you want to take it to the next level, all the way to marriage, to whatever you want to do. But the point is, it got to be the two of you and not just one. And because it's coming from the perspective of the person that's talking, does not mean that the other person is not on board. So I'm not going to make those assumptions, but you want to make sure that you have like-mindedness. Okay, so we take this off, flip it over, so this can be crunchy, and then we're going to take it out. And that's that. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is done. Done. All right, so let me get this thing over here. Move some of this chicken over because I want this chicken to be able to drain. Okay, just like that. Okay, put this over here. We'll wipe this up. All right. Get you moving over here. Put this over here, just like that. And get that to the side so I can get it out and not get any oil on it. That would be helpful, but I got enough on the stove, y'all. It just keeps popping. Yep, and what I'm doing, when you take it out, you just let a little bit of the oil off. Just like that. Come on. Just like that. Got that turned. And it's a good thing. Okay, so there you have it. Got all your chicken. So I'm going to turn this off so that can cool down. I'm going to wipe around here.
Well, Wonder said some people say when they need to in order to travel. Oh, say what they need to in order to travel.
Okay. Exactly. All this chicken is here, and now we're going to get our sauce. And you're right. People will tell you what they think you want to hear. They sure do. And that's why you have to be mindful and careful, you know, especially when people are long distance. Yeah. Because you don't ever know You don't know what you're getting. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So, yeah, I'm moving this pan back off the eye so it can start cooling down. Otherwise, it will continue to heat. Because like I said, metal contact on this stove top, that's what you get. Let me put this top on here. Okay, move that over. And I'm going to get some of this stuff out the way, including this gargantuan fork. I'll leave 1 spoon out here. Yes, I will. And get the rest over here in the sink. Okay. So, let me get that in the garbage too. All right, so let's get this sauce going. Because like I said, it's not hard, it's very good. And the butter's almost done. Now at this point, you can clarify your butter. And when you clarify your butter, you just skim off the milk fat part of it. I don't feel the need to do that because you know what? I just don't. I don't feel the need. I should have did 2 butters. Yeah, well, I had to. So I'm going to put another one in here, y'all. I'm going to break it up, though. I'm going to put a half a butter in. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a half a butter in because I know I'm going to need a lot of sauce. I already know I'm going to need the sauce. I'm going to put another half of butter in here and let it heat up. Okay, just like that. Do I have a top? Yes, I do. I have a top. And so I put the top on, it'll melt faster. Okay, then take it down and put it to low because I got so much already melted. And what I want to do is I'm going to check my potato. See if it is melted on the top. If it melted on the top, then I can take the foil off. So let's see what we got going here. I smell it. So let's see. Yep, all melted. Just like that. So let's take the top off. And this non-stick thing did the trick. We're going to take it off. We're going to let it do its thing like that. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to let it sit here for about 5 minutes at 450. And then I'm going to take it up to a boil. Just to brown it. Let me turn this off. There you go. Because, guys, I got through the whole ordeal with that noise going, and I didn't let it trip me out. How about that?
As long as my advice is this, you can't wait for love if you don't put yourself out there. And when you find the person you think you can be with, trust but verify. A background check is a wise investment.
See, she's right there with me. See? When you find them, that's when you go to check it. And don't let nobody tell you, oh, if you love me, you'll let me do it. How about that? If you love me, you'll want to do it too. How about that? What's there to hide? Because I need to love every part of you or not.
I give you the choice.
Right. It's all about choices. Okay, let's see. So let me get this in the trash. And check on my butter, which is nicely melting. Get my spoon and break it up because if I break it up, then it'll melt a little faster. Yeah, that's enough butter right there. I should have had that much in the first place. Okay, I'm going to take it up to a 2 so we can expedite this situation. See, listen to me, look at them, using those big words long. I'm expediting things.
Oh, do you still need blood work to get married? No.
No.
Was that a thing?
Yeah, it was a thing back in the day. It sure was. And I think if the blood types conflicted, I don't know whether they stopped you from getting married or not. I'm not sure, but that wasn't my time.
I thought they used to do that to confirm that you were family or not.
No, they may have. I really don't know the origin behind it, but because that was before my time, and yeah, but okay, almost there, guys. Let's check this out. Look how that's bubbling. Oh, isn't that cute?
Oh, that's an interesting word for
It is. It's so cute. So now, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna put it on broil. I'm gonna turn it on, and we're gonna brown that
Should
puppy.
I get grab? Should I grab people?
Not yet. You gotta take this. I gotta make my sauce, and I just want to pop my chicken in there for a couple of seconds just to get a little heat on it, because it's a little room temperature, and I don't want that. But we're getting there. Gotta make my sauce. Gotta make sure all the butter is melted, and it's one more little piece that's acting resistant, y'all. Tell it, say butter, melt. Say melt, 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 melt. Okay, I'm stirring it so it'll melt. Okay, so we got that. I'm gonna bring this over here and put it together, and I'm gonna take it back over to the stove because it needs to be hot.
Okay, Bone said they only got rid of it nationwide in 2019, according to Google.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was
So you
not-
had some states that would do it.
Yeah. It was not a thing in New Zealand, but they did ask us 20 different ways if we were related or if our parents or grandparents were. Right.
Wow.
That's what I figured.
Okay.
That's what I figured.
And if you were, then they wouldn't let you get married.
A lot of times.
Okay.
That is definitely something they ask you when you're filling out your marriage license.
Okay, I'm taking this and I'm gonna this is probably about a half a cup of this honey. And it's hard to come out. Yes, it is. Beautiful sister, I need your help. I need you to come over here and watch these potatoes because I don't want them to burn. They're on broil. And I'm trying to get this honey out of here. And this is like taking forever. Okay, but I need the honey just like I need the money. And the honey is taking forever because it's really thick. You probably want to turn it. Here. There you go. Probably want to turn it. And what I'm doing, guys, I'm trying to squeeze as much of this honey out as I can. Okay. And it's taking forever. The next one, I'm just going to take the top off, y'all. I'm not going to squeeze because I need a lot of honey. I have a lot of sauce here. Okay. I'm going to go to the next one.
Other one.
Yeah, I'm going to use this, and I'm opening up the whole top. Watch me.
Can I get the other micro?
The other what?
The microfiber, so I can pull it down.
There you go.
Thank you. Tell me when you want.
Yeah, that's good. Take it out.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Careful.
Yeah.
And see, that's why I put the foil there. You see how that butter was splattering? Remove that foil out of there and just stick my chicken in. Once you turn the oven off, let it sit for a minute, just to let the chicken get a little warm. Take that foil out of there because it's full of butter. So be careful.
Okay. And I just like that.
Exactly. So yes. Okay, so yeah. You want to give it a minute to cool down because it's still in the broil stage. And I don't want it to brown my chicken. I just want it to heat it a little while I do this. Okay, you probably want to take that off of there because that's hot.
With this?
Yeah, that's hot. I'm getting ready to use that eye. I was using it. So just move it over. Okay, you might want to show them. Let them see. Can you grab it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're going to have to let it focus. Okay, so.
I don't want the butter to tilt.
Right, the butter is, we have a glob of butter right on top, but that is what it looks like. And when you dip into it, that butter is going to go down into that potato. And so now I got, what is this? How many ounces it is? This is, 12 ounces. I didn't know I had tilted it. Okay, 12 ounces. So I'll probably use 6.
I'm going to put it in the oven now. It's just warm.
Okay, so now I've gotten the amount that I want. And you're like, this is a lot of honey. Yes, it is. But this is a lot of people going to eat this sauce. And I may use this as a glaze on something my husband probably will want to barbecue. You know, because that's him. Yeah, exactly. I can put this on a nice. I can do a lot of stuff with this, so don't worry. So I'm stirring, and like I said, you got the honey, you got the butter. I'm going to put it back on the stove so it can incorporate. I'm going to put a little bit of sweetener in here because I wanted to have a little sweetness to it and the butter. And then I'm going to put a little garlic in. Okay, so I put a little Splenda. You can put a half a teaspoon of sugar in there if you want to use sugar products. And I just have to find, I think beautiful assistant took to put it away. So let me get it back. Okay. Yep, she put my garlic away. So I'm going to put a little garlic in there. This is optional, but I know it's going to taste good. So, yeah. So about a teaspoonful of the garlic in there. Of course, I'm going to hit it with some blessings and some pepper. And if you want to kick it up a notch, you can put a little cayenne in there or some red pepper flakes. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of cayenne. I know my husband's going to be mad because he don't want it too hot, but he'll be all right. Just a little bit. And a pinch of salt. And that's your that's right there. It's very easy. You can do it. You can clarify the butter if you want. I don't care if it's clarified, because it can be a little cloudy for me. You know, for television purposes, I did clarify it for my short purposes, but for home, child, please, I'm trying to eat this stuff. I'm just being real. Okay, and so you just want to get it on the stove, heat it up, and yeah. So now we can start getting ready to plate, because the chicken, like I said, I wanted to get like that little chill off of it from the being sitting in the room. You know what I'm saying? I don't like cold food like that. I know people eat cold chicken all the time, but you know what? That ain't what I'm trying to do here today. Beautiful sister, you can come taste this and see if it's good before I put it on the stove, and then you can stick it over there on the stove and put it on a 2 so it can heat up, and that's it. Yeah, and then we can plate this puppy up, because I'm very sure that grill master's sitting over there with his mouth drooling.
It's a knife and fork already.
Exactly. So
should I grab him after this?
Yeah, taste this, and you know, like I said, I want to put it on the stove. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, so let's get this on the stove and heat that up. It's not too hot, is it? I mean, spicy.
No.
Yeah.
Have a nice little bit.
Okay. I'm going to get this over here and stir it. Okay, I'm going to take it up to a 3 so you can start doing this percolating thing. I got my potatoes over here. And let me get a little hot pad and put the potatoes on, because they are hot. They look beautiful. And as they sit, they look even more beautiful. So, got that. Okay. As soon as that sauce gets where I want it to be, I'm going to take that chicken out. And we can get the plate. All right, so let's see. Maybe I bring it up to 5, because I need to hurry, because I'm ready. Is everybody ready? I'm ready. Okay. Oh, yeah, see, that's nice. See, it's still hot. See, there you go, just where I wanted it. Okay, where is... Yeah, we got to get it out. Now, I want to sit too long and then it start cooking some more. It's not what I want. Okay, so let me get this side out, because the oven is still hot. Okay, so we'll bring this over here just like that. Close this up. And bring this up so it can start getting some movement. That's important. I'll take the spoon out and put the top on. As soon as I do that, I'll start getting some movement. And I'll be plating this up while it does. Let me get me another spoon. Nice little serving spoon for that. Okay, got that. Yeah. Bring this over here. Get the plates. Okay, so just over here, and it's still not doing any movement. I'm going to turn it up again. Okay, we put that in here. Let's turn it up to a 6, and I'll start plating up the potatoes. I think I can do potatoes by themselves. They look really good. Okay, so. Oh, it is so buttery, so cheesy. Got a nice little cheesy crust on top. That is really nice. Oh yeah, look at that cheese pull. Well, you probably can't see from here, but you'll see when Corey gets it on his plate. Okay, now let's put that over here. That's really nice. Let me move that to the side. Let me do that. Okay, and let's see.
Oh, I meant to read earlier. Corey, have you played Death Stranding 2 on the beach yet? That's why I was MIA a few weeks.
Okay, so you over here beating my time with video games. Is that what you're doing? Beating my time with video games, huh?
Have you ever played? Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have not.
Have you heard of that game?
I didn't know that there was a sequel to it.
Oh, you knew about that game?
I knew about Death Stranding, but I didn't know that they had a sequel.
Okay. What is it, like an RPG?
See how she take us all out of character? Don't nobody want to know about your video games.
I like video games.
Okay, on the Love Rhythm recipe.
Alright.
Thank you very much. Okay, excuse them, y'all. They're on the wrong station. I'm playing. You can talk about whatever you want.
I said Love and Rhythm live in video
No,
games.
Love and Rhythm does not live in video land. No, it doesn't. But whatever floats your boat, you know. Okay, so now this is nice. Beautiful sister, can you please get me that glass measuring cup so I can put this in and pour this over so Corey can have this. Corey, get your special fork.
Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah. Pardon?
Boy, so much butter in this stuff. I'm
Lord,
scared.
it's floating away.
It's floating. It is floating.
Here you go.
Okay, let me get this. Pour this in here. Now, like I said, you can clarify your butter if you don't want the speckles. I don't care right now. I'm just being real. I don't really care. Okay, let's get that over there. In here. Okay, and we're gonna, let me see which direction I want to pour this. Okay, we kind of mess. There's a lot here. Okay, so we're gonna pour this just like that over here. Okay. All right, you got your fork?
Yep.
Okay.
For neatness, may I put mine in a little cup?
No, we want to pour it on there so it can drip. Let me get paper towel. You can pour some on a cup, but we're not concerned about neat because we're concerned about you seeing how delicious this drip is going to be. Okay, then you can get neat after. Okay, so try that. Get your little cup so you can dip since you want to be neat.
That's amazing. Amazing.
I'll pour some on it.
Here, pour it in there because I don't want to.
Check out the potatoes to see if the lighting will
Do it justice.
do it any justice.
You got to let it sit there so it can focus for a second.
There it goes. All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and give this a little taste.
It got so much cheese in it, it don't want to release.
First, we're going to try the potatoes.
Trapped.
Yes, it is.
That's an excellent side.
Look at the pool.
It has an excellent cheese pool.
Excellent flavor.
I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go.
It's
Drip.
making a mess because there's so much cheese pulled in there.
Who ever complained about that? Never.
That's a winner right there. Now, for the chicken, the star of the show.
Is that mine?
Pass that to her with a fork. Okay, did you let them see the drip with the chicken?
Let it drip, bro.
Yeah, look, it's dripping here like it's getting in my hand.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now that. Let me tell you,
Oh man.
the chicken is tender. It's moist. This what is this? A butter honey?
It is honey butter chicken, crispy,
Yummy goodness.
yummy, yummy.
It's
Get your piece of
perfect.
chicken.
It's good.
It's really good.
Oh God. That Oh.
Ooh. I wonder if there's somebody outside that we can slap, Pop.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm looking.
Look, make this. I'm telling you, make this. This is delicious.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and take this over and enjoy.
No, it's again.
Baby, where you get this recipe from? You ain't never made this one for me.
I just created it.
Today,
Wow.
she said I got it from the recesses of my mind.
Wow.
The culinary chemist in me.
Oh my God.
Okay, and you're saying that about what?
Everything.
Everything. The chicken is delicious.
The butter is
Honey,
just
butter.
oozing off this plate right now.
Ah.
I wish I could lean it. I ain't trying to spill, but yeah, it's butterly just oozing off this plate right now. Let me pour a little. See, I wanted to do it the nice and neat way. So I got my little piece of chicken and my butter sauce, and I'm just gonna pour it on top a little bit here.
No.
Y'all see that? Yes.
No.
Drip is dripping. The drip is dripping. Y'all see that drip? Look at the drip. Look at the drip. Woo! Woo!
Careful now, that chicken's steamy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Please take a big bite.
It's worth the 3rd-degree burn.
No.
Woo. You know you gotta eat the food like.
Okay, come on, y'all.
Oh, but it's so good. Woo. As already mentioned, the meat literally just falls off the bone. It's moist, juicy, tasty flavors all through it from the seasoning. Then you put that delicious garlic butter sauce, honey garlic butter sauce, and then you get that little bit of sweetness and that little bit of spice in there at the same time. I didn't even taste the potato yet.
Man, oh man.
I didn't even taste the potato. Man.
Now,
Mm.
let's also mention like how crispy
The chicken is.
skin
Yes, the skin is crispy. The sauce doesn't make it mushy. It just gives it a delicious coating of the goodness of awesomeness. It's so delicious. Everything just pops off this plate, and I love it. So very good.
It's
We're gonna be
hot.
having this again.
Okay, so y'all, you know I had to smother mines all in sauce. I don't want to spill it. Okay, so yeah, if you can see. But yeah, I got mine all in sauce. And you see the sauce just, yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna try this. Yeah, I am. They say it's scrumdiddlyicious, so we're gonna find out. Okay, so let's see what we got. All right, so first thing I'm gonna try is this chicken. Get a little piece. And I'm gonna run mine into the dipping sauce, the loveliness of the sauce. Okay. You see, that's what you call the drip. They need to understand what the drip is. There you go. That's the drip. Okay, that's how you show a drip. So now I'm going to take this and put this in my mouth. And that's good. Let me taste that potato. Look, did y'all see the cheese pull with the potato? Okay. You see that? Let me put it in my mouth. Well, I'm getting tired of going through this with y'all. I know every cooking show you watch, people say the food is good. But I dare you to cook this stuff. I dare you to cook it. This food, I'm going to take this big old piece of chicken right here, and I'm going to show y'all something. Let me show you the magic. Okay, watch this. Watch that. And I got potatoes on it too. I want you to see this. You see that? Can everyone see the drip? Yeah. Okay. Look at that. Okay. That's real. That's real. Okay. Now I want y'all to see this. Look very closely. Let me put my fork down. I'm gonna watch.
Oh man.
Watch this.
It's over there.
That's finger looking good.
Let me tell you something.
Miss Huckabee said, can the sauce be used on a meat?
Yes.
Whatever you want.
Let me tell you something. The Colonel ain't got nothing on me.
Hey.
All right. So now that I'm finished patting myself all over the back. Nah, I said I patted myself on the back. Okay, they just want to hurt a sister. Okay, all the time want to slap somebody.
They just slapped your mama.
So
you my mama.
I ain't your mama today. Okay. So, as I said, y'all, could you wait for love? Yeah, I could wait. If it gives me what I got these last 40-something years, I could wait. Okay. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different tolerance. Okay. But what I will tell you is whether you wait or you don't, learn that person. Be real. Be honest. Be transparent. It pays off in the long run. So, since this meal is nice and hot and hearty and I need to eat this, I will say to you, whether you are searching for a relationship, you're in one and you're navigating through it, you want to maintain one and you want to be old head like me and mine, or you just want to be, you old, or you just want to have a relationship with yourself, which is perfectly fine. I hope that you all find your rhythm and dance. I am going to be here next week, you know that, and I will be here tomorrow on Saturday Reset Weekend Eats, and we're going to have a big fun, and I'm going to cook something really good, and I ain't telling you until you show up. How about that? Oh, y'all know about tomorrow, but you will love it. Turn on your notifications, family, because you don't want to miss this, and if this is a place that you want to be, and you enjoy being with my family, all of my family, hey, subscribe. Hit that like button. And if you do, you won't be blue ever again. That's for sure. I'm going to see y'all next time. Hopefully I see you tomorrow at 7:30 on Weekend Eats. And I'm going to eat this. Bye-bye. Ooh, that's good. That's good.